Gosh, golly, gosh, golly. It's still hot. It's still hot weather. Warm. Even 25 Celsius. So I find that a little unacceptable. 20C, yeah, it's okay. Air conditioning's been on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off. Not as much as when on 24-hour, when it's just blistering, flipping heat wave outside. Or inside. Yeah. Interesting how Mother Nature could be uniform and everyone's subwoofer in your home. Yeah. You see, because there was one physicist, wasn't there, or said something like a quote for which nature itself cannot be fooled. Nature, you know, can be it gets to the point in this ranting video. It gets to the point, you know, like if you have air pressure pumped into a room and it's all sealed, you're going to get the same PSI all around the room. And it's not going to be any different. It'd be the same PSI. With subwoofers, no, they're just rubbish because of the way the language of the vocabulary of frequency waves are. They're not all equal. Though outdoors might be a different kettle of fish than it is indoors. But then, you know, you could go outdoors, heat wave. If there isn't much of a say of a breeze, then that temperature is going to feel uniform. Whether you get down on your hands and knees, climb up a ladder, it's going to be the same flipping temperature. Unless, of course, well, you got to a very high altitude, I mean several miles up, the temperature might start to vary a little bit, but you know, it's not easy for us to get several miles up now, is it, where it's just a few Celsius cooler, thank goodness. Or then we can all say migrate to the Antarctic during a heat wave. Yeah, but you ain't gonna like it too long. Our body temperatures or sensitivity, we're comfortable in 20C range, and that's it. No if, no but, no debate, no voting about it. We're comfortable in around a 20C range. When it goes too cold, below that, well, we start turning on the central heating, which is not too bad because it could get the temperature to be about livable in a home or indoors. It can get it livable. With a subwoofer, no, it's not quite livable, you know. Yeah, it's a little bit problematic. And then you got see, I've got my cat Melanie meowing there. No, she's not. She's got a loud meow. Maybe I should get her in the Guinness Book of Records. She's a very loud female meower and a very bossy girl. Aren't you? You're a bossy girl. Yeah, aren't you? You're a bossy girl, aren't you? Yeah. And it's no myth. You know, she knocks a lot of things over, aren't you? Everything she steps on, something all the time, something always falls over. She's at it again. She's at it again. You see, this is more entertaining than Dolby Atmos. You see, though cats can be nice at times, they can also be a pain in the arse. I think dogs could be a little calmer, but sometimes, you know, a cat could be a bit of a pain in the arse. Can't you, Mel? And as for my new little fella, well, he's down here between my legs. He's comfortable. He's relaxed. But yeah, you get to warm temperatures indoors, and it's just uniform around the room. Well, or is it? You get those little heat things, those little portable thermostat things. You go around. Yeah, it's going to vary slightly. It's going to vary slightly, but fucking, I can almost taste this bloody warm air in my room. I can almost taste it. It's about in the bedroom. In the bedroom, it's about that. Oh, not that range, because that's what the Americans use. Because Americans, they like numbers that are bigger. You see, that's their problem with subwoofers. That's the temperature in the moment. God, bloody hell, that's just too much. You know, I just want to turn the AC on for about an hour or so. But, you know, it won't cool down until early hours in the morning, you know. Ah, dear. Anyway, I've got water here. So this video is sponsored by Spring Water, Sparkly Spring, and Kitty Cat. Have a break, have a Kit Kat. So, receivers, because, you know, I think I mentioned this somewhere in a video, gosh, probably, I don't know, maybe last year. But, you know, someone else mentioned in a video, this guy, you know, we're not going to show you the video. Can you hear the video?
The Avium 100 and all of that stuff.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Like new features if they come out with DTSX Pro and stuff like that. For it, that's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's see. Does that just let me just see. Does that let's just play this. Can you hear the video?
Avium 100 and all of that stuff.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Like new features if they come out with DTSX Pro and stuff like that. For it, that's fine.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so you can hear the audio on that. The microphone's picked it up. Usually when you do it the other way on a YouTube video, if you're on YouTube, you know, because it can only do a webcam thing, it can't do a, you know, it only does it in mono. You got to go to a stream site and then bounce your signal over to YouTube or something. Yeah, so if I would have played that video clip sound, the video signal would get conflicted with, like, it won't register the sound on the being picked up, which sounds weird to me. Well, technically it's a bit weird to me, but if it's on another platform, yeah, it picks up the audio. But yeah, oh fucking hell, I could just taste this fucking heat in this room. God's sakes. You know, fucking hell, come on, fucking autumn. Oh god, autumn. It seems autumn. It seems almost like an eternity. But yeah, all these AV receivers and such that everybody buys or keeps thinking on upgrade this, upgrade that. They only offer you limited channel, you know. For the price, yeah, that's a very strange sort of thing, really. You know, when I could go and get a vintage CB radio that's multi-mode, and it does more channels than an AV or an AV or trinnov. Yeah, Does more channels than a trinnov. What's the max a trinnov can do? 48 or 64 channel? Is that it? Is that the maximum of it? My CB radio can do more channels than that. And it's smaller as well. A lot less weight, less weight than the bloody trinnov. You know, I look at that trinnov and I look at it and think, I wonder if it's about the weight of a ham radio. I think a ham radio is going to have better filters on it and such than a regular CB radio. Now? Is that all you can say? Now? Now? Meow, meow. Look at her. Look at her meow. You know, this is the thing, you know, you buy all this bloody crap from manufacturers. They keep pumping it out every... I don't know how many models they're pumping out every year. It's ridiculous. It's pointless. It's useless. It doesn't make sense. It's incohesive nonsense. It's absolute... Oh dear. It's worse than bloody selling candy sweets in a bloody sweet shop. And they always offer the same boring amount of channels, don't they? Yeah, I know. Even Melanie's got some views on this. And yet, you look at the Dolby Lab products, right? How many do they pump out every year? Almost zero. Their only recent model, which only came out a few years ago, is the CP 950, about the same height, frame, and weight size, I guess, to a CP 750, which is still current processor in still some cinemas, because not all are going to have a CP 850, which is discontinued but still in use, just as Melanie. No, she's trying to knock things over. I've got to give her a little what's it. Come on. Yeah, she's trying to knock things over now. Like the CP 200. That's like the premium deluxe diamond supreme processor. They're only in still use in selected cinemas worldwide. You've got to seek them out to hear that. Oh, that high-end luxury. Yeah, because that's what people keep babbling on about, luxury. I don't know why they keep saying the word luxury. It's so delusional. I might say it sometimes, but I'm only taking the piss out of it. I don't seriously think my home cinema is luxury just because I've got a trinnov. I could sell that processor if I want and just get my money back and think, well, if it makes anyone else out there happy with all the bullshit marketing, good, great, enjoy it. Because I don't. It makes me absolutely depressed. Why do you think I'm in here at the moment? I'm not in... You know, my air conditioning system's a little bit better in my THX cinema room than it is in the bedroom. I'd rather be in there, but I don't fancy sitting in a seat talking about the same crap about how great this fucking soundtrack is or whatever. It's just the same cliche, and it's fucking boring. Its vocabulary is fucking limited. Everybody does it on YouTube. No one cares. I think it's just simple. You know, I mean, if a cinema, think about it. If some cinemas are still running their CP200, depending on which cinemas they are worldwide, some may have purchased a CP200, maybe in the last 20 years or so. But that processor is was made in 1980, or no, it was released in 1980. So it's most likely it was on the drawing board and through all the design process and prototyping and such through the late 1970s to supersede its CP100, which you can occasionally see on eBay, very cheap. But, you know, that processor needed a few other additional things added to it to give it stereo surround for 70mm. Whereas the CP200, it has it all built in. Plus a little bit more, which is very analog circuitry. Very complicated analog circuitry. And you get this crappy trinnov, atmos. That's just, you know, it could do this, that. Sort of equivalent to a CP850. Yeah, you could go on eBay and get yourself a CP850. There's one on eBay present, unless of course it's sold in the last 15 hours since I noticed it on eBay. I was surprised to see another one turn up. And all you need is the other module to go with it, and bam! Because the plus you might need something else, but unless you go into the software and look, you'll probably be able to get yourself a bargain. You know, and of course it doesn't have video HDMI signal and all that shit on it. It's just audio only, so it's got HDMI signal, so you can plug it in to a receiver or such, and it will read the codec. That's on the Dolby True. The rest of it, well, it's a gamble. It's a gamble. If you can't get total access to all the rest of it, you got to go to those robbers at Dolby Labs, and they're going to be asking quite a bit for a key to unlock it. Otherwise, you can still get it for a bargain. I mean, just think about it. What I said. You know, all these processors that just keep getting pumped out all the time. You know, people just think they want Atmos, but they don't understand why they want Atmos. They don't understand. Most are just young kids, and when you're in their late 20s or maybe early 30s, but they don't understand why they want it. They just think they want it. It is a boring sort of format, to be honest. It's not technical wonder, it's pretty flawed. And yeah, I'm disappointed with it. Yeah, wow. Bloody hell, she's got a lot of meow vocabulary. Bloody hell. You know, I've had lots of generation of cat, and never had a cat that meows like that before. Yeah, well, occasionally you get one. Especially when she does her meow ranting for 12 hours. Yeah, my little fella, my little one here, he's got a little meow. He's meowing. He meows occasionally. Very high-pitched frequency meow. And Melanie, when I got her, gosh, it was at least 6 or 7 months until she started meowing. Now she doesn't stop. Yeah, see? Look at her. Where the heck are you? Huh? She's got a lot of issues. She's probably trying to say, get some better cat food, for God's sakes. Yeah, I got all ranges of, you have your dry food, you can have your tuna fish, you can have wet cat food, water if you want to drink it, that's up to you. Gourmet, One gourmet ones as well. Well, that just says it on the bloody tin, but it's probably bullshit in any case. What the fuck is she doing now? Yeah, see. She's at least at least 3 meters away from me. Oh, look at that bloody loud meow. I've just got to keep listening to that and try and somehow decipher what she's saying. Anyway, junk processors, junk subwoofers, yeah, they're all junk. Think about it, manufacturers like Ascendo selling that stupid 60-inch or whatever the bloody hell it is. And you got SVS, you got JTRs with 24 of them in a basement. That's pretty disappointing, I think. It's not exactly. Is it gonna pressurize the room, corner to corner, and in the middle of the room as well? So if you went around with an RTA analyzing microphone, is it going to pressurize everywhere equal? And then you go to the next frequency, and then the next, and the next sine wave, and so forth. You know, and then it's going to start. Eventually, it's going to start changing where it's not uniform. You know, it's not like something that is free, not through nature, and it's just warm air, uncomfortable, bloody warm air. And of course, when talking and such, and that, occasionally your mouth is going to get a little a little dry. Nah, manufacturers, they always try to offer these things, don't they? So they can sell their product with crappy atmos output channels. I mean, think of it. Just a basic CB radio with 40 channels is still more than a regular crappy atmos receiver made by Yamaha, Denon, Trinnov, because that only offers at max 30, 32 or maybe 36 channels, unless of course you add the extending box on. That's like going out to a CB modification to put a simple EEPROM chip with a few other things inside the radio, and then give it an extension of an extra 40 channels, and it's only about that size or such, and it's very cheap. Think about that. Think. You'd be able to talk on it, listen, talk long distance. What the fuck can you do on a trinnov? Huh? What the fuck can I do on that trinnov in the room? Fuck all. All I could do is receive the bloody soundtrack, and that's it. I can't fucking plug a microphone into it and modulate, you know, with a coax stuck on the back of the fucking thing. It's fucking useless. Yeah, it's just like buying many products and you think, I don't get it. I just don't understand why this is so bloody expensive and yet it can do very little. Oh, and subwoofers, bloody boring. They always do the same bloody typical boring bloody cliche. I try to think of ways like how to make it different, you know, feel different, not just bloody hearing it, but feel different. Because hearing it is what we hear up at this level. And if we just slightly moved slightly, that signal's going to wander, it's going to change. But it does the same exact bloody thing in reality, in the real world. Whatever it is. It could be a washing machine, it could be a refrigerator, it could be an engine on a vehicle. It's always going to, have something there that your subwoofer, that big, huge, stupid, overpriced, ugly, bloody subwoofer, that it can't do. I mean, has anyone ever thought about sitting on a subwoofer so it feels like a motorbike engine? Does it feel like a motorbike engine when you're sat in your couch potato seat? Does that terminate a stupid movie with the stupid Harley Davidson crappy motorbike? Bloody piece of rubbish movie that is, Skywalker Sound. Does it feel like a bloody motorbike engine in the room? From a point of view from a distance, it might sound like, but it shouldn't press on your body. Not unless you're sat on the bloody thing, and you feel it only in your arse or your legs, but you ain't going to feel it pressing against your body, your chest. That's bullshit. Space shakers. Well, again, they're limited. They always do the same cliche. You stick them on seats, vibrates the seat, but it doesn't vibrate or press into your chest cavity now, does it? And when you try to strive for sub-bass speakers, or even screen speakers for that matter, or surrounds, to start to feel it a little bit in your chest, what? Take a look at that SBL level meter. Take a good look at it. Then you think, why is it this level? It sounds a bit exaggerated, because I think in reality that just wouldn't be doing that on the SBL meter. A lot of people they can't distinguish the differences between fantasy and reality, which is sad. I think the same goes with sound mixers. And directors and Dolby Labs, they just can't distinguish the difference. That's why the Dolby Labs encoders and decoders used for dub stages are pretty rubbish. They don't have proper psychoacoustics, so it's built in, so it could figure out we could have, but still at the end of the day, that feeling that you get in the chest, well, that's only going to happen on certain things in reality. Only very few certain things. And on a daily, weekly basis, no, that doesn't happen. Just doesn't. You got to be involved with something where that does, and then when it does, I don't think you really want to care for it all the time, because it's going to be fucking loud. And loud is not good. It can damage your hearing. In the long run, you'll get knackered fucking hearing. What's the fucking use of that then? You wouldn't be able to listen to another day with all this shit fucking hi-fi quality bullshit. You'd be fucking wearing a hearing aid. Or you turn the subtitles on so you can read what's being bloody said. Fucking hell, this heat. Breathe in. That's good sub bass. That is good. That is good sub bass that I just did there. A lot of you idiots out there, not I'm saying all of you are probably idiots, but you just don't observe things very well. And when you talk about your sub bass and all that, you can't even give a proper description or, what you're actually feeling, where you're feeling it. You just babble about immersive and cohesive and, oh my goodness, those are fucking cliche words that I've been fucking hearing up and down the fucking YouTube for fucking years now. It's boring. It's a long in the tooth boring. Get a bloody vocabulary where you can talk about something and describe it scientifically. It's like Gene Desai. He can't even bloody talk scientific. He just babbles and like, oh yeah, like his smart room is really, yeah, right, sure. That's why he's changing his Storm to a trinnov. I want to sell that bloody Storm. I want it bloody sold and out the home, so someone else can enjoy it. And personally, I find the trinnov and the Storm processors, when you look at them from the front, I don't know, I just find them just to be a little not very attractive looking, but then you got a larger display a little bit on the, but that's of course, master, you got a larger display on the Storm. You got a slightly smaller, but kind of looks like the what do you call it, in the mortal words of David Lean, on a fucking phone. Their display kind of looks like that on their processors, whereas on the Storm it's kind of like that. I'm not sure if anyone's noticed that, but yeah. You just got a few push buttons on the processor, but both need to be connected to a laptop, so you can use the remote software access a little bit more on the processor, whereas it doesn't have any proper function, doesn't have a proper so if your internet went down and you had all these luxury rich snobby people coming around to your home theatre for that stupid demo, and your laptop can't talk to the internet because your internet's down, fucking hell. Yeah, that's great, isn't it? Yeah, bravo. Whereas all the other, say like AVPs or such that are out there, don't have to rely on the internet being, just for firmware updates, but you're not using it as a remote control sort of thing. They should have built that into the processor, so in case, if it goes down, you can still use get access to all the functions except firmware updates until the internet's back up and running. AV receivers don't use that, so yeah. Like again, only firmware updates. And how often do you get a fucking firmware update on the trinnov? When was the last firmware update for that fucking thing? Well over a year ago. Well over a year. And they keep going on about this new software that they got on that stupid, ugly looking CI processor they got. That's barely got enough inputs on it to do proper things. It's useless. I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't touch most AV receivers because even they, with manufacturers now, are dumping most of the inputs, so you can't use it with this and that, and you think, what the fuck am I buying this thing for? You know, always take a look at the rear view of it. It takes me only a couple of seconds just to look and think, no, it's junk. You gotta buy something that's several years ago. You know, I mean the Denon. Remember the Denon 8500? Yeah. They say it was the flagship, this bullshit and all that, and all the bullshit that gets on the Audio Science review of all the bullshit like the signal noise ratio and all that crap. You know, most things today have got a better signal noise ratio to over equipment that was made back in the 1980s. Bloody hell, some of that was pretty noisy, but when you got something average and it's good signal noise ratio just below 100 dB, you ain't gonna notice it when you got a soundtrack playing on top of it, or even a sine wave tone for that matter. You ain't gonna hear it unless you turn that bloody thing all the way up, silent, and you can hear some noise. So what? Who cares? I could turn that trinnov all the way up, I'm gonna hear some noise. But that's with the levels turned up ridiculously high. I couldn't care less. What I care less about is this fucking heat. Fuck's sakes. Only fucking a couple of days in this fucking crappy July. Fuck's sakes, and you got fucking August, and then well, but at least by probably around about late August it should be cooling down a little bit reasonable. It seems like an eternity. God's sakes. Oh, she's gone quiet. Yeah, what was that about? What was that? Something like 15, 20 minutes of meow. She's gone quiet. Oh boy. Yeah, it feels like being outdoors down at the Bucking Beach during midday. That's what it feels like. Fucking hell. Yeah, if I give advice, you know, it's like you try and count sheep, you know, and try and get yourself into a deep sleep mode. By that time, you're going to be completely oblivious to the hot, the warm temperature in the room. You're going to be well, unless you're being boiled by a bunch of fucking cannibals on an island. You know, you're not going to really notice it. It's just like a toothache, you know. Hot weather in the room, it's just like having a toothache. You get yourself into a deep sleep mode, you're just going to be oblivious to it until you come out of that sleep mode, and then it's like you feel that toothache, or you feel it's like, oh no, oh thank goodness, it's a little bit cooler in the room. But that's only at a certain time during the 24-hour period, and then of course, you know, by the time it gets around about 11 o'clock to about 2, it gets a little bit too, warms up a little bit, doesn't it? It's a little bit higher. Fucking hell. Yeah, because animals, think of it, I doubt they're enjoying it. I don't know about if it affects the fish in rivers or such. Not sure if it has any impact on fish. See, I think about other things rather than selfishly just trying to think about myself, ourselves. I try to think, because all that is going to have some bearing on our lifestyle. What about the bee? Now that's important. That's important. Simple thing is, if you don't know the answer, just Google it. Just Google it, and then you can, because if the bumblebee goes, you can totally forget about that fucking subwoofer you got in your fucking home. You can forget about it. Okay? Most people, we tend to forget some things sometimes. We tend to forget about, because there's other things in the way that are clouding our judgment, our views, our whatever. We get clouded by this minutia. And she's off again. She's off again. Yeah. Can this microphone pick that up? God damn, what's the sensitivity like on this microphone? Mate, I don't know, because it's going through little laptop speakers. Little laptop speakers on these laptops. And she's at it again, she's in the room now, she's doing it again. Yeah, that's not bad, 2 little stereo microphones up here on the... There's not a bad reception on that. What? Meow? 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 Yeah. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. You got a lot on your mind, haven't you? Oh yeah, see, so there's nothing like a black cat sitting on you. Oh yeah. Now I'll tell you, this is some good sub bass here. This is some good subwoofering. It's probably infrasonic. Oh damn! Oh yeah, feel that movement. You don't get that with sub bass. Well, I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you a little secret, hey. Tell you a little secret. The only thing close to that was at High Wycombe. Yeah, JBL system, George Lucas, THX. It was all set up by an ex-Dolby or a Dolby Lab consultant that started a company in the UK. I tell you, that's about the only closest fucking thing where I felt sub bass fucking moving and crawling over my fucking body. That's late 1980s that shit was made. And I only heard it and felt it or heard it 1990, January 1990. Arachnophobia. You think about those spiders, they got all those legs on there. You're doing that, you get all this individual crawling around sensation signals with sub bass. It's usually just doing that sort of thing all the time, but no, this fucking thing was crawling all over my body. Yeah, they had something fucking seriously the way it was rigged up, tuned. Would make would make any home theatre with a crappy trinnov waveforming sound like a dinosaur. That's fucking back. That's analog shit back in the fucking 90s. Come on, Mel. Yeah, Dolby SR. Yeah, but a lot of you out there, you're all young kiddies. You probably wouldn't know what SR is. God. By far the best analog audio sound you could possibly hear in a cinema. Providing, of course, it's all rigged up with JBL and really decent THX sound system. Yeah, it's too bad George Lucas went back crazy. You know, he had a good thing going there, the 80s, 90s. He had a good ride there, and then suddenly he went back crazy. And what have you got today? Bloody Razor? I wouldn't trust that. I wouldn't trust Razor THX as with a 200-foot barge pole. Look at Los Angeles. It's not even the hip city anymore. It's THX-less. Look at the Westwood, Fox Westwood, and the what was it? The name of that other cinema that's only across the road. Both of them closed down for 2 years. Damn. LA's doing something seriously wrong. George Lucas, I thought you was the man that brought us American graffiti. What the fuck? And then you bring this Star Wars shit? Okay, now, where's the THX? Because, you know, seeing the same film print, or the same film, that is, different cinemas, you know, and then you go and see one in THX and it's like, this is what you call night and day. Damn. I wouldn't mind it in the home, but I don't know if the fucking neighbours will like it. Well, you wouldn't, because it only would fit the size of the auditoria. If you had it in the home, it'd be way overbearing. You'd be turning the fader level very low down, because you got to have it designed to fit the size of the room. Otherwise, it's just going to sound overpowering. Ow! Ow! Yeah, every time an Indiana Jones punch comes up on the screen with a John Williams score, you feel the score frickin' slam frickin' hard. And then the punch, more than enough if you're in a rocker's seat, and then it rocks you back because it just totally startles you, because you don't feel that sort of thing in reality every day. And it's like, wow, this is making the film damn good. But you don't get that quality anymore. The cinemas now are complete bloody junk rubbish. Yeah, even those Dolby Vision or Dolby cinemas, they're just a load of rubbish. Those days are gone. That boat sailed a long time ago. Yeah, and all the processors and everything they had, well, yeah, they're sticking in the cinemas for bloody years, aren't they? They're not upgrading their cinema processor now, are they? Like everyone's upgrading. Oh, I got to upgrade, because if you don't upgrade your AV receipt, you're going to feel like an outcast. Anthem. Oh god, that sounds like an overrated piece of rubbish. Typical name like that, like try and make it patriotic or something. No. Simple thing is, cinemas just usually, you know, depending on what the codecs, because there are all different manufacturers out there that want to sell this or introduce something a little bit better into the cinema that's better than the other, because it's competition time now, isn't it? Yeah, it's competition. But Westrex, RCA, Sound, that have been around in cinemas for years. Oh, not to forget Vitaphone, but that probably wasn't around that much long until that changed. I wasn't around then because that's decades. That's fucking nearly 100 years ago, isn't it? Actually, about 100 years ago. Yeah. I think there was, not sure the other movie, I'd have to check up on it, but there was one other movie that was released before the other one. And it's the same sort of cliche with like what Dolby Labs did with optical soundtrack processing during the early 1970s. Vitaphone had another movie that came out before with sound, but it didn't have dialogue on it. And it wasn't until they had the Jazz Singer, 1927, which had DME. So you got, well, very primitive in its day, very early days sort of thing, sort of dialogue, music, and Foley footstep sounds effects or such, but very, very early day stuff. And then of course you got like in the early 1970s, I think, with the optical soundtracks, the Dolby optical soundtrack for, and there being also other optical soundtracks that have come along. I'd have to go to the What's-It site to look up all on the history, because there have been so many variable different optical soundtracks stuck on 35mm to do this, do that. Some didn't do very well, didn't stick around long and got phased out. Yeah, you got like I think A Star Is Born. I think that was the first one to use sound effects and such forth on the optical soundtracks, where, you know, there's other optical Dolby optical soundtracks that probably didn't. And they were a little bit early. What was it? Star Was Born, I think, was that 75, 76, that movie? And also 70 release as well, I think. Or Magnetic Stripe Track. Fucking hell. I've got to put the air conditioning on. So it's going to pick up the a continuous like having pink noise on. Oh, I'd rather have that on than some fucking. Oh, because I can tell you, I can almost taste the fucking heat in the room. Yeah, I think it'll probably make my cats feel a little bit better. Oh dear. Oh, I only got a few. Oh dear. Oh, fuck. Oh, I could feel that cool air coming over this way. Oh, fucking hell. Yeah. And every speaker is junk as well. I see one home theatre guy looking at it's seriously expensive. I mean serious. You're talking about speakers that are in the tens of hundreds, or almost maybe like $500,000 or something. Or, well, maybe that's exaggerated. Maybe close to a down payment for a house. A down payment for a house? I don't know. Think about it. Rather have a house. Yeah. You do a lot of things in a house. Now think of this other thing, right? You got all these people want to put all this nice equipment in a room, right? And it costs more than the actual room. The raw building materials, just for the one room. I'm not talking about the whole house, just the one room. You think about like the brick or the plastering, the plasterboard ceiling, or I don't know, it depends on how it's constructed. It's typically in America, it's usually cheap wood, plasterboard. Damn, we use brick in the UK, but fuck, I don't know which is better. I really don't know, because these bricks tend to act like fucking thermal bricks for fucking heat waves that were not fucking built or designed and built. Yes, designed and built for this fucking condition. Fuck you know. With science, I would have thought there'd be somewhere to build homes, because we're like cavemen, aren't we? I don't know, maybe a actual fucking cave would be. How did caveman woman put up with this fucking heatwave shit almost 500,000 or so, or whatever, a million years ago? How the fuck did they put up with it? Because it must have had heat waves, huh? Are there any scriptures or scrapings or writings on walls in caves that could, you know, say like, you know, because yeah, poor buggers didn't have air conditioning back then, did they? That didn't come along until some American, was it back in the 1920s or 30s, invented air conditioning. Because he was working on the idea for quite a while, and there was just one thing in front of him that eluded him, until one day he was at a train station and it was foggy or something, or misty, and then he got the answer, and then, you know, got it patented, and then today, you know, everyone's making air conditioning. Damn right. You need it to cool yourself, otherwise you're going to be climbing the walls. And there's no sense climbing the wall now. I think I'll have an air conditioner over a trinnov. Yeah, can a trinnov keep you cool? And like I say, you know, you buy all this crap and just listen to the same cliche rubbish sound mixes. I'm surprised a lot of YouTubers that do all these out of this thing called out of the theatre review or whatever it's called. Dear, and they just keep mumbling about the same fucking words. Immersive. It's a bubble of sound. Yeah, it's not a bubble of sound, I can tell you that. If anyone's actually seen what a bubble looks like, it's a spherical sphere. Unless they're talking about a hemisphere, which is the opposite, it's half the shape. But no, it's not even a hemisphere. It's just that all these bullshit advertisements you see with all these manufacturers or people on YouTube that are probably affiliates with all this bullshit nonsense, and they come up with all these design graphics just to bullshit and get you clickbaiting. Otherwise the sound just spreads out in all directions. Even when that speaker is mounted on the wall, it's going to do some sort of vibration effect, but depending on the surface, because if you do research into it and have several materials that you could use as prototype to see how much maximum vibration you can get from the back of the cabinet, so that can transmit and come down somewhere into the room so you can feel some of it. Otherwise I just think of it as sound that is a loss, and all this thing with bullshit Dolby Labs, lossless sound, lossy sound, to me it seems like a little bit lossy, because you're going to get a percentage that you're just thrown out the window. Huh? And you got to turn it up, up, up. Just until you can feel something. But what frequencies are you feeling? And then what other frequencies then sound annoying on your ears? Mid-range frequencies or such. Some mid-bass though, it sounds a little bit annoying because it doesn't sound natural or feel natural, like travelling on a bus, a coach, a train, your own vehicle, but you're not paying attention, except for you should be looking through that rear view mirror and what's in front of you on the bloody road to get from A to B safely, not fucking around like, oh no, that's for someone else to observe in the vehicle. But yeah, I observe. And then when you get all these shitty movies with all these car action scenes where it's changing continuously, the continuity is changing from exterior, interior, exterior, interior, fucking hell. Ugh. And I can hear the continuity and the sound. And it's like, why are they pumping up the sound so bloody loud on the outside for these stupid car chases? That's not what we hear in reality. You know, it's so exaggerated. I can't. It's unbelievable. And you got this stupid scenes with dialogue. You can hear it crystal clear behind the windshield when they're chasing someone. Huh? What? And you've got to think, where's the rest of the sound in the mix? Wouldn't there be rushing air moving past you? I bet there is. If you're hanging on the fucking front of a fucking car that's fucking going even 30 mile an hour, you're going to feel rushing air going past you. Your hair's going to be doing all this. Fucking movies are bullshit. They really are. Especially Atmos ones. They really do take the biscuit. Yeah, Atmos. Hear, feel every dimension of bullshit. Unbelievable. Because when you think, you look at your room and everything else, cinemas and all that, you think, well, there's nothing different or unique with the system. So I think it's just marketing bullshit. They're desperate to get their bullshit out there. Well, they've done pretty well at bullshitting and brainwashing a lot of people, just like sheep. Meh. Do you like being treated like a sheep? Brainwashed sheep? Do you like being treated like that by Dolby Labs and all these manufacturers? Do you like that? Come on, leave a comment. Tell me you don't like being treated like a sheep. Because I certainly don't. I don't appreciate it. I think it's rude. It's about time we just start to lay low. You know, you ain't gonna miss anything with the next Atmos movie mix coming out 5 years from now. You ain't gonna miss anything. It's just the same bullshit. And that would be like, what, I don't know, a little over 20 years. Oh fucking hell, this Atmos shit hasn't really changed or evolved technically. In 15 years it hasn't changed much. It's just the same crap, same marketing bullshit. Everybody talking bullshit just because they want to sell, try and get views on their channel for some crappy movie. Yeah, pump it down people's throats. I'd rather have reality pumped down my throat. At least it's the real thing. Yeah, like Coca-Cola. It's the real thing. Oh, it's cooler now. It's only down to about 22.1. It's just about okay, but I had it down to about 20 sometime during the day. That's just probably due to maybe there's some cloud out there and where the sun position was. I hope I piss a lot of people off. All the vendors that are out there, all these bullshitting home theatre installers that are trying to push this crap down because they need it. It's their bread and butter of dishonesty. It's not rocket science to, it's not rocket science to build one, Like I say, you put all this equipment in a room, speakers that cost like that, what's it, that guy on YouTube that bullshits all those hi-fi speakers. Those speakers that go in that room, or maybe some of the amplifiers, cost more than the actual building materials for the bloody room that he's in. Does that make any sense? I've gone somewhere like that where some of the equipment in my room costs more than the fucking bricks, the fucking plasterboard, the fucking oh dear, I feel disgusted. But I could sell that shit and just keep something that's a basic shitty, but I've got to then modify that AV receiver to have to do a little bit more on the B chain, because that trinnov at the end of the day can only do so little on the B chain side, and you've got to add other things onto it to make it or make the B chain a little bit more technical, which doesn't have to cost much. But when you look at things like the what goes in that box, in that trinnov, under the bonnet, yeah. Most of those components, if you were to have them as standalone equipment, that equipment rack would be extremely tall and heavy, and not to mention the power that you got to run on it, the heat level that it's going to throw out into the room. Oh yeah. And you get something that condenses it all down. So some might say, okay, argument of the trinnov cost and that, and then you look at all the other processors, AV receiver craps, Anthems, Emotivas, Yamahas, Denon Marances, Onkios, and some of the other cheap Chinese brands that are out there. You see what it can do, what it can't do, because they're all going to have one thing in common. They've got a codec chip. Some are slightly different than others on the manufacturers, but some will be probably similarly the same. You're just decoding Dolby signals, or DTS signals, or dead Aura 3D. Yeah, useless. Aura 3D, totally useless. Can it do STDS? Oh fuck no. Damn, that's disappointing. It can't do the other thing unless you actually have that thing in the home, and no, so no, forget about that one. Oh gosh, that's cool. Doesn't taste as bad, the room with the warm air. Yeah, you might think I'm anti. You're damn right I'm anti. I can't believe a lot of you lot out there are not bitterly disappointed as I am. Because it's like bloody voting for some fucking politicians out there, and then once they're in, then they just do a fast one, don't they? Can't believe a lot of you idiots out there just think Dolby Labs are great when they've just been bullshitting and lying to the public for 15 fucking years how great their atmos is, when it is technically flawed. Can you hear what I'm saying? Technically flawed. It ain't a 3D format, sound format. No way is it 3D. That's bullshit. 3D is 1, forward, back. 2nd, side to side. It might be the other way around. And then you got 3rd, below, right up to the top. But no, bullshit atmos is only here to up there and then back down. That's all it does. Doesn't do anything down here. Fuck. Every time I'm watching the fucking visuals on that screen with all the stupid fucking sound effects, and I'm thinking, why is the fucking sound, why is there an object that goes this way but I only hear it this way? Huh? What? That doesn't make sense. Yeah, I think Dolby Labs should be ashamed of themselves for pumping out that crap. Is that the best fucking thing they could ever come up with? Bloody hell, how long did that take? Thinking all about that around the conference room table. And I bet a few of them during that probably dropped a pen on the floor a few times and it made a sound, but they fucking deaf to fucking hearing it. And the only thing Dolby Labs can hear is the fucking sound of the cash register. Or what it looks like on their fucking stock market shares. Rather than delivering a proper sound format. But at the end of the day, you've got to do all that mighty research. You look at where the speakers are placed. Where are they placed? I know exactly where they're placed, but is everyone else aware of it? Or are they completely blind as bats? I bet blind as bats. I'm totally aware. But you can't put speakers where I think you should have them, otherwise then it's going to look intimidating. And no one's going to want something that's, stuck right next to them or in front, or, when you can see it. It's going to look intimidating. So it's impossible. The other thing I was talking about, it's kind of impossible to, unless of course you try something that is like all the speaker system that's got to go into the room for mixing, ceiling, walls, and I mean covered, not a little bit here, a little bit there, and another one there. That's just hot jumping the sound from one speaker to another, and it doesn't sound uniform. It sounds crap. It's dinosaur. It's fucking outdated. All they're doing is using some technology just to bounce the sound from one speaker to the other, but everything else about it is completely flawed. I mean, that air conditioning that I got turned on, it's down there, and the way the sound is spreading. Now, can you hear that in a Dolby mix? No, because there are no speakers on the floor. They're usually typically placed behind the projection screen, and then on the ceiling and along the side walls in arrays, around the back wall in arrays, and that is it. But does it sound like, you know? I could stand up and walk toward that air conditioner, and the tonal sound and the frequency response will change. But you listen to it in an Atmos movie? No, it's not. Not unless, of course, they're using air conditioners in a scene in a movie where they might be in the ceiling. Oh, well, that's typical cliche, isn't it? Oh, it's in the ceiling. But the way the sound or the air is spread out in 4 directions, same as a speaker, but then you look at the radiation frequency pattern on a speaker, the way the bass frequencies tend to spread out a lot more, then you're gradually going through the sine wave tones or the frequency sweep, and then it just goes from like that, and then it just gets narrower until you get up to the very high frequencies. Sure, you might hear those high frequencies in a very narrow range in the room, depending on its dispersion pattern. You can make something so that the high frequencies spread out rather than just being 2 directional. But then you got to have system to mess around with psychoacoustics with. Maybe sometimes it's directional, maybe sometimes it's omnidirectional, or you got to look into it a lot scientifically. You got to look into it a lot of scientific. Compare reality, the real world shit, versus picking sounds up with a microphone and then fucking around on them in sound editing and just to fuck around with it on a dub stage. You got to check the real thing out, where that real thing is. What environment is it in? Because it's a lot of it out there that is, yeah, very, very experimental, I would say. Very experimental. So even I feel this. You know, that's the best sub bass I've ever felt. Because I could feel the water moving in my hand. It's like bass. Now I can do that on the bed. I can feel the vibration better than all your sub bass speakers that you got out there. But of course, the bed's made of springs. That's an interesting thing, mind you. You know, when I lean one side on the bed and I make a sound, I could hear it reverberating through the springs. It makes a kind of like echoey, reverberant sound. Yeah, that's interesting. Be interesting if I put some bass shakers on this bed. Yeah, where do I fit the bass shaker? Do I fit it to the wooden frame of the bed, or can't exactly fit them underneath the bed springs, because then, you know, if I'm sat on, I can break the bed spring, I can break it. But interested in the feel, you know, what sine wave, you know, until you get bored with it, you know. Yeah, Yeah, I've done all sort of things with bass shakers. I put them on my chin, on my nose, on my head. Yeah, I've done all sorts of things with bass shakers that no one's dared to try. And it's interesting what you feel. Yeah. You could probably put a bass shaker like close to your ear. Ain't gonna hurt your ear because you're in control of the gain level, the fader level. You're in control, and so yeah, that'll be interesting. I haven't tried that one yet. Coming soon. See, I hear sound at this angle behind me. It's interesting how our ears receive, and then our brain does the mapping on the sound. Yeah, a lot better than the mapping on a trinnov. Yeah, that fucking thing's useless. People think, oh yeah, I'll go buy, I can reposition my speakers electronically with some wave of the magic wand. But when you move close to those speakers, the speaker is still where it is. It's just an illusion. That's all it is. You could buy a lot of other equipment that you could plug into your crappy home theatre and such to do all that wizardry, electronic wizardry. Yeah, most people that mix shit and all that, they got an abundance of all this electronic, either plugins or it's all hard, all hard hardware equipment in a rack, just so you can manipulate the sound. Yeah, got to keep this thing in mind. At the end of the day, you got two stereo speakers, and when you turn your laptop, if you're listening to your laptop, say for example, the speakers are located underneath. Yeah, located underneath. You have it in this position, you hear stereo, but when you turn it this way and you got it literally in front of you, it sounds like mono. Oh yeah, it's like you got a switch, and it's just basically using your mind, your hand, and then rotating it from that position to this position, and it sounds like mono. Believe me, it does. It's like a mono switch. I only caught on to that. What was it? Was it late last year? I think it was. And I thought, that's interesting. And it's also making me think about the surround, the surrounds. The surrounds. Well, to be honest, they're not really surround. They're not uniform enough. It's like when they say, come out, we got you surrounded. But you look at how many gaps there are on those speakers where they're placed. You could just run in between them and get away. You're not surrounded now, are you? Surrounded. Does that include below me as well? Because I'll look for a little tunnel to go into and then come out the other end. Yeah. Above, well, it depends where you are, really. It really depends. If you're out in the wide open, well, jumping up and down's not going to really get you anywhere now, is it? Unless you've got a hot air balloon or helicopter comes down with a bloody ladder. Surrounded. Yeah, you got to get a uniform sound and have that mixing to create a psychoacoustic Yeah, well, what can you do with that? Could you use other plugins or such and change the stereo width or such to make it seem like those speakers that are out there sound like they're a little bit like here? Bring it in sort of closer so it sounds like the sound is just sound waves going through the air, isn't it? But when you got, like, I suppose the physical thing, the presence of two people coming in close to you talking, you would also hear the presence or sense the presence of their body blocking certain sound that might be, and you get this, sometimes if you're in a quiet room and you just do this with your hands near your ears, you could create a very eerie sound, like woof. Sounds like the environment all around me is coming in very close, and it sounds eerie. Yeah. What's up? Hey? What's up? What's up with you? God. I haven't got much ice cream in the fridge. Bloody hell. Oh, I finished it, didn't I? I only got those ice lolly things or whatever they are. Oh, at least they're cold, yeah. And whatever it takes to try and get cool and chilled. Yeah, mostly junk. Mostly junk, innit? I mean, it's the same with junk food, innit? Yeah. Yeah, it's the same thing, innit? The quality. Yeah. Yeah. But is that going to make you feel any better with, I don't know, might take a couple of days or so until you notice, because you ain't going to notice it straight away. But yeah, nice vegetables, vitamins in the vegetables. Little bit of maybe some of the other sometimes. Hey, what are you doing, little fella? What are you doing? What are you doing, little fella? I got you a new litter tray, cat litter tray coming tomorrow. Because you're not using the regular cat litter tray, so I got some cat litter coming for you, a different cat litter. Because I'm not sure if you like the other cat litter, so I've got some other. Because I think you're a very fussy little boy, aren't you? Yeah. Oh, it's just out there playing. Wow. Ooh. Wow. See, that didn't take long for my new kitten to, there's not much what you call hissing and spitting and growling. That was a couple of days at the least, and now it's almost getting close to I think about a week. It's getting closer to 7 days, and they're playing. Though I think sometimes Marnie, being a bigger female cat, sometimes, I don't know, it sounds like, you got to be the referee, and you say, all right, break it up, because she could do a bit of damage. But yeah, little Joe here. Whoa! Hey, careful! Oh, what's he doing now? What's he up to? Come on! He's running around a bit. Yeah. Probably maybe another 20 minutes, and then they'll want to settle down and because they'll use up all their energy, and they'll want to have a cat nap. Hey. You see that? Can you see yourself there? It's like a mirror, isn't it? It's like a mirror. Oh. You're going to be a nice big cat when you're grown, fully grown. Yeah, you're going to be a nice big cat, but I'm enjoying you at the moment. You're way better than a trinnov. You're a lot better than Emativa, Anthem, and all these AV processors they got out there. You're a lot better than that. Yeah. The question is, what size you're going to get? What size are you going to get to? You're going to be a little bit bigger than Melanie? You're going to be medium fur. I think he's going to be a medium fur cat. Not long fur, but medium fur. Meow. Meow. He's got good hearing range. He's got good hearing. We buy all this junk. People go out and build $2 million home theatres, thinking all that great quality products is going to make your fucking hearing good. No. We're still, at the end of the day, we got the most dumbest, dullest, boring fucking hearing range possible. My cats have got better hearing range. They might not go much below 40 hertz, below the 40 hertz range. I think that's about roughly where there is, about 40 to 1690,000 K. But then what the bloody hell's above 20,000? Think about it. Musical instruments don't play fundamental frequencies that high. So, when we listen to music instruments and such, on all this bullshit hi-fi bollocks quality shit, that I don't know, a lot of these bullshitters on YouTube so much like to claim, unless they got scientific proof, but then we don't need to, because I got technical equipment and I can see what the frequency range is doing. And then you got to think, what's our hearing range roll off? Why do people with shitty home theatres put this diabolical fucking roll off on the high frequencies? What the fuck? How the fuck are you supposed to hear those special sound effects in Star Trek movies, huh? You wouldn't even notice. You're only going to notice a tiny proportion of it, and you try to boost up the but is it really going that low? Is it doing it like what the cinemas are doing? Back in the days of THX, Not the crappy ones today, no. Is it doing anything like that? No, because most of you probably can't remember it, or you never experienced it. It's difficult to talk about the experience when it's not around anymore. Meow, meow. You see, with the air conditioning on, I get masking effect because of the frequency it's producing in the room. You never put a microphone close to an air conditioner with the front, otherwise you're blowing air onto the microphone, you'll get an inaccuracy in the frequency response. But when you look at the frequency response, when you put the microphone off axes to the air conditioning, you can see what the noise it is. That is a little loud, yes. The ones that they commercially, or the other ones like the Mitsubishis or such, they're in the ceiling, they're a little bit quieter. That one there, but I think it's over the 60 dB range. Doesn't bother me. Why should it? No more different than listening to pink noise at maybe in the 60 dB range. Of course it would be different frequency response, unless you change the frequency on the it'd be interesting to do a recording of an air conditioner, and then it has to be a good quality recording on a digital recorder, and then you play it back through the speaker system in the room. That'd be an interesting experiment. Yeah, this home THX cinema can do that if it wants to. If I want to, I could do that. I could play it back on any speaker in the room. That'd be an interesting experiment, that. Yeah, there might be something there, you never know. Might be better than magic beans. Yeah, if you got a frequency range that sounds like, well, it sounds loud and harsh in a certain proportion of the frequency range, so it's simple, you just put some filters. You put the filters on the processor, easy on a Storm audio processor, not so easy on a trinnov. So you could have this bullshit flat response. For all intents purposes, it ain't gonna do any much difference. You know, the soundtrack mix on it, of course, is gonna be completely variable. It's not like it's gonna follow that line. It's gonna be variable. Sound is variable. It's completely variable. But you know, you got something that's harsh. You know, I just know where to put a filter. Put a filter in a bell-shaped filter. Widen the Q bandwidth out, and then just cut the frequency on the frequency, and then cut the gain level down. Then it's like, oh, it's less harsh on the ear, or less bright. You know, when it's bright, which is light, and you shield your eyes, don't you, because it's too bright. But it's not bright on your ears, it's just bright on your eyes. But sound could be the same thing, because if you get a certain sound coming at a certain direction, you put your hand up like that, guess what, you're partly blocking some of the high frequency. Just as you put any other object up in front, you're gonna, you know, you got pink noise going psst, and you put a hand there slightly, then that psst, that's kind of like that sort of like flat, you got it flat on the microphone, and then it just drops down. Then you move your hand back out of the way, and it just goes back up again. It's kind of magic. Woohoo! It's a kind of magic. I guess a lot of you home theatre people didn't know that. You could always use certain things that you could attach or place on a tweeter or whatever and get a free lunch. And I suppose most Americans don't believe in free lunches, but yeah, you get a free lunch. You can emphasize or boost the by several dB without necessarily turning it up, but you also will be they'll also be trading off on some of the other frequency range in the highs. So yeah, it depends. You just play around, manipulate, you know. Look at that. Oh, he always does that. Always does that. Lays on me. Come on, fella. Oh, come on. Oh, meow. He's flexible. He sometimes lays on the bed near my feet, or he'll jump. He'll go somewhere else and have his cat nap. Yeah, it doesn't take long for a cat or a kitten to get used to you, a new owner, companion, or such. It doesn't take too long. Yeah, they're settling down now. I think they're settling down a little bit. Temperature is still holding at 21 C. It's still holding. That's about. Yeah, that's okay. It's okay. I don't give a fuck what most of you out there all think. Whether I'm trolling, maybe I am. No, I'm absolutely serious about it. Absolutely serious. As a consumer, I'm very disappointed. Well, I'd rather consume that than some bullshit Dolby Atmos on a bloody crappy UHD disc. Because it doesn't take me too long to suss it out how crap the picture and sound continuity is. It doesn't take me too long. And everyone out there, stop playing that bloody miserable fucking Top Gun Maverick as a demo. Seriously, that is bugging me. That has got terrible sound mixing and sound continuity. And if you can't bloody see and hear that, you're bloody blind and deaf. Should never have been awarded a sound achievement by those crooked bloody Academy Motion Picture people, because it's not even worthy of it. It's terrible. Who gives a shit? I mean, you're not going to feel real G-force now on the fucking thing now, are you? 10G. I think there was another movie that was bragging in the movie, like 10G. Oh gosh, I was watching it the other day. This week or last week. I can't even remember the title of the film now. It was done decades ago. You know, it's not like fucking 10G, some fucking magic new number. Oh, that sort of thing exists, been around for a long time. Unless, of course, maybe try out Moonraker. Yeah, the centrifuge. Yeah. Try and turn your gain levels up stupid until your ears get ruptured before it can even come anywhere near to really pressing hard on your body. So if you were to lean forward, yeah, you'd have extreme difficulty. Otherwise G-force would just pin you back. Sub-bass, no, that's not going to pin you back. It's just bullshit 24-inch subwoofers in some basement. It's not going to pin you back. Unless you're rotating that bloody room ridiculously until the point you throw up or pass out or it kills you. That wouldn't be good now, would it? All these bullshit movies, fucking hell. Whoa, you can't get any more better than The Black Hole. Oh yeah. You can imagine the G-force, the pressure energy going into one of those with, you know, where someone talks about stupid playing movies in the basement on the 24 subs and you know, you got all these crap. No, you don't get any bigger than the Black Hole. No, you don't get any bigger than that. Then again, this solar system is a long way away from a black hole, so yeah, we don't have to panic, you know, unless a spacecraft is hovering above, and then you got this message saying thank you for all the tuna fish and then we're going to make a highway thing here because your planet's in the way. Kaboom! Yeah. What was it? Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Yeah. Black holes. Yeah. I'm fascinated by the forces that would be this, the energy, whatever it is. Well, I'm kind of fascinated. But, you know, you can experiment with the black hole. You can experiment, you know, where the last what do you call it? Well, a little bit of the opening, and then near to the end when they go into the black hole. The way mid frequencies or some highs and moving around and such, and then you got to get the energy of the lows. Experimental. So yeah, THX experimental black hole. THX sub-bass. THX experimental black hole sub-bass. Yeah. But use caution. Don't go stupid and overboard, otherwise it'll probably fuck your hearing up. Or maybe fuck yourself up. You know, you start getting into frequency ranges at SBLs that, or maybe just the vibration resonant frequency as such, rather than, you know, you start at somewhere at some point. You gotta increase it, but soon it's gonna be acoustically audible, but you got still a lot way to go until a point where you feel uncomfortable, like you're gonna throw up. Blah! And you think, well, quit, I want to back that off down, and then turn it off, back it down very slowly, because it'd be like, I suppose in some way like decompression, you know, like going underwater for a long period and then coming back up, and you need to put yourself through some decompression. You back it down slowly and just boom, turn it right off, because you get a strange disorientation effect, which I've noticed before. Just back it down slowly. Just back it down, ease it down, slow, and then try and relax. Put some earplugs in, or just whatever. Just try and relax. Otherwise, you know, you go to over the threshold, and then you're gonna get into a territory where you're gonna regret. Because we can only take a certain amount of tolerance until we're going to crack up. Yes, the black hole sub-bass THX experiment. Science. She blinded me with science. Yeah, just how much did she blind me with science?
But you could sell your AVM 90 and then just pay like, whatever difference and get like an AVM 100. But if you want to deal with all of these, doing stuff like that with a new processor or receiver, and processors like Anthems don't come out like every year. You know?
Of course they don't. But it's like, of course they don't. It's like manufacturers are trying to grow these fucking processors on a bloody tree. Oh dear. I mean, I don't even follow what is coming out. I don't even follow it anymore. I have no clue what is out there. Last month or a couple of months ago, I have no clue. Apart from that crappy trinnov CI. What's that stand for? CI. Crap integrated. Crap invention. Fucking useless piece of rubbish. Ugh. You get all that crappy trinnov, their crappy amplifiers. Got all those other crappy things, what THX, what they call it, something benchmark. What's that crap? Huh? I don't even like the look of their amplifiers. They look bloody ugly. Ugh. Am I holding that? Just trying to move and orientate the. When holding it at a certain angle and such, it starts to tilt. But yeah, I remember, was it last year, on the bus? Well, it was last year. Of course, when, the bus is turning, it starts to turn, just that little bit, you feel the inertia, the pressure, and you start to lean one side over. You don't get that shit in home theatre. It's like you feel, and it's like when I was holding a bottle, trying to hold it totally still in a vertical position, and then as the bus was turning, it kind of did this sort of thing. It started to, move, and even though I'm holding it very straight, and I'm thinking, yeah, it's interesting, and it just starts to go this way or go that way, depending on which way the bus is turning. Interesting that. Yeah, you don't get that shit with Dolby Atmos. Nah, ain't gonna happen. People think Atmos speakers are magical, but sadly everyone's deluded. They still keep calling them Atmos speakers. They're not an Atmos speaker. Atmos speakers don't exist. It's just a marketing name. They're just a speaker. That's all they are. You could use both speakers stuck on the bloody ceiling. They're a little limited on their frequency response and SPL level. They're not going to do much, Those little cube Bose speakers stuck on the ceiling. You might as well put a crossover on them and use them as a maybe a mid-range driver, going from about 1 kilohertz up to the highest frequency, if it could do the highest frequency, that is, because it's all it's Bose, no lows and no highs. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Listening to the air conditioning for about 60 something plus dB for a while can be it can but wear earplugs so you won't notice it that much, or because you can sleep easy with earplugs. You can't wear ear defenders because that'd be uncomfortable if you're sleeping on your side, so earplugs. And it makes it a little bit easier, especially when the cat starts meowing. Meow! Oh. Meow. Well, that was an interesting sound. That kind of came on my left ear there. Yeah, Dolby Atmos doesn't do that shit. I mean, what are the most boring Dolby Atmos mixes now? I even think Gravity's boring now. I mean, it's a short movie, but I find it to be boring now. I don't play it that much anymore. It's no longer the hot meal movie anymore. Meow, meow, meow. Can you say that 3 times in a row, Melanie? Meow, meow. Oh, I think she heard my request. You're a lot better than Dolby Atmos, aren't you, girl? Yeah, I know. everyone with their crappy atmos in their basements and their sheds and their living rooms, even mine included. Yeah. Oh. Oh my goodness. Oh, the sub bass there. Oh, the sub bass. Oh yeah. Oh wow. Oh gosh. Gosh, that's a lot better than a John Wick movie. Man, that John Wick movie's a load of crap. How many of those crap movies I got? 3 of them. And they're both crap. Boring bloody dribble. Though I kind of found the second one a little bit artistically interesting, with the way the last 20 minutes of the movie or something, where it's got all these mirrors and reflecting, and you're looking for the camera, aren't you, to see if it pops up in those mirrors, or where maybe it was all CGI. Yeah, maybe CGI AI, I don't know, but I'm looking for the fucking camera to reflect. But they obviously work it all out, choreograph, so they get the camera at a certain angle so it won't appear in the, or maybe they digitally removed it from the reflection. Yeah, but I kind of find that a little bit interesting, the last 20 minutes, but the rest of the movie I found fucking boring. And the third one, fucking hell, I just want to throw it in the fucking cat litter along with the first one. Melanie's got more personality than Keanu Reeves. She's more lethal. She's more lethal than Keanu Reeves. Wow. Didn't they make a movie called Keanu that had something to do with a cat? Something sort of like Keanu Reeves, Keanu. Pretty sure they did. I think it was years ago. Wow. Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah, what? It's a cat. Catzilla. He's a lot more better than Godzilla. I found Godzilla fucking Atmos to be fucking boring. I wonder what frequency. I've not yet got a microphone to see what frequency range she is doing. Okay, no, I don't need a microphone. All I need to do is just use my phone. That will suffice. Then using a digital recorder that I have, a digital recorder that I've only used it a couple of times to record the sound of rain outside. But yeah, all I need is and then I'll put it on the and I'll be able to see the frequency range when she does that very deepish, mid-range. Now it goes kind of goes loudish. Yeah. Our home theatres and AV and mostly all junk. All the subwoofers are junk. Now. Yeah, why do people buy all these stupid... You think you're hearing infrasonic low frequency? Of course you can't. It's impossible. Our hearing range don't go that low. Boom, it rolls off. You can just generate a pressure that's in an infrasonic range, but is it realistically good enough? Otherwise you're sensing some sort of weird pressure sort of thing that's it doesn't seem like it's part of the soundtrack, because it should be part of reality. We feel a pressure, but we're adapted to it for evolution. You gotta look this shit up on Google. We're adapted to it. Every other life form's adapted to it. Unless, of course, you go deep under the water and you feel the pressure completely different. Until, start pinching your nose because the pressure's pushing your eardrum that's like that. It's pushing it inward. And then everything else that we're not adapted to, you feel that sort of, Then you, of course, when you come up, you got to subject yourself to several hours of decompression. Otherwise, all these bullshit fucking crappy movies, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's fucking mono, fucking 5-6 channel, or crappy atmos. And you got that stupid fucking movie about blowing up the fucking White House. Not the one with the fucking... Well, maybe the fucking one with the fucking aliens. And then you got the other stupid fucking one as well. That stupid fucking movie with 747. We're going to take this 747. The, typical fucking American movie bullshit. We're going to take it to 15,000 feet in just a few fucking seconds. Here we go. Like that. But do you notice anything on the soundtrack that's like pinching your nose, like the pressure's going on in your ears? No, there's nothing like that in the film mix to get that sensation. You ain't gonna get that shit on your subwoofer, because the pressure's got to be equal. PSI air pressure's got to be fucking equal in that cabin. You ain't gonna get that bullshit in your stupid home theatres. Dream on. You could play around with, what was it, White House Down, I think it's called, White House Down. You could play around with that stupid fucking scene in that movie until you're blue in the face. You won't achieve it. And it's got to be realistic SPL level. It wouldn't be doing over a stupid 100 SP. It wouldn't be doing over a stupid 100 dB or 150 dB. It wouldn't be doing anything like that shit. It's totally different sort of kettle of fish air pressure. So you might as well throw those stupid Ascendos or those JTRs, JBL included, throw it all in the bin. Ain't going to achieve it. You get something on the soundtrack that's, but is that it? Fucking hell, this scene only lasted a couple of fucking few seconds. What was the fucking point of all that bullshit, fucking patriotic crap? Air Force One taking the fucking plane up. The most hilarious part was when it got blown to smithereens. Yeah, and I was laughing my ass off when the fucking thing got blown out of the sky. Because they're just crooked politicians, aren't they, at the end of the day? They're trying to control us, aren't they? Yeah, that's about the most entertaining part of the fucking film. The rest of it, fucking hell, I just want to turn it off. And then you got those other stupid movies. What were they? Olympus. And then London Falling. And then some other bullshit with that Gerard Butler. Fucking boring. Meow! But I don't, does everyone remember the high-pitched wing sound that they put in with Olympus Falling when the terrorists, they blow the front gates up, boom, and then guy gets thrown away over one side, and then wakes up, comes conscious, wing, and you just hear this high pitch like you do, if exposed to a very high SPL sound, you get a kind of ringing sound in your ear. Yeah. I'm trying to remember what speakers that was mixed on, what channels. Otherwise they should have mixed it in the surround as well, so then with that tone you would get a uniform sound almost. When if it only comes from one speaker, and you move over this way a little bit, or move that way, or move forward, the tone frequency might be going up and down due to standing wave issue. But if it's mixed on all, to kind of create a surrounding effect, so you move that and you think, what the fuck am I hearing this high? Oh yeah, right, I get it. Yeah, I got it right away. I thought, that's an interesting sound effect. Probably most people couldn't hear it in their home theatres because you're turning your bloody HF levels down, aren't you? So you can't hear it. I think it's easy in a very audible range in the highs. It's not above, I don't think it goes above 10,000 kilohertz. I think it's a little bit lower down. Yeah. Well, I'm getting a little bit bored now with this roast my home theatre, because I'm roasting my home theatre as well, because I think it's a piece of rubbish. And just about everything else out there, your AVs, your processors, your subs, your amplifiers, even the cable that you bought for the speakers. Unless, of course, it's cheap. If it's cheap, then that's okay. When it's just stupid price, then does it make a damn difference? Have you checked it scientifically? Yeah? Yeah, my recommendation at the end of the day is get yourself a cat. They're a lot more, they could be a lot more entertaining sometimes than some crappy home theatre.
Let's stop that. Like, they don't do that like every year, every 4 months it's a new one. Like, that's not what it is. You're probably gonna have it for a while. You know what I mean? But is it worth paying like 19 grand for 16 channels? And
19 grand for 16 channel. 19 grand for 16 channel. Like you say, go on there, go on eBay, get a CP 850 for a very cheap price, and out of the box it offers 16 channel. When you add the extender on it, it goes up to 32, and it's cheap. It's cheaper than a Storm and a Trinnov, a JBL, or whatever else crappy products that manufacturers have got out there. What was it, that German company or whatever it is, Sternway Linguish or whatever the fuck it's called. Yeah, you can get something a little bit cheaper. That's of course if it's already unwrapped. It's all and it was just sold because the cinema either didn't want it anymore, couldn't care less about it anymore, or they just got a 950 instead. Yeah, so you could get an 850 pretty cheap. Though they got some of those other cheap, crappy, what do you call it? Was it Mini DSP? That thing. That looks just as worse as a Trinnov CI. But it might have 16 channel, but can it do left center, right center? Probably can't. It probably can't decode those channels if they're mixed onto the crappy atmos, and you won't be able to get those channels. That's like, you can have a 16, but can it do left center, right center? You go on a Trinnov, though I recommend it's total crap, you can get 7 channel on the screen channel. 7. So that gravity will be more luxurious in your home theatre if you use the 7 screen channel. Yeah, you'll be hearing that sound in places you've never heard before. Yeah, it's luxury. Yeah, it's luxury. Liquid, delicious luxury. You know you want it.
Then, like, if you want to add more subwoofers or whatever, then you gotta buy like a extender and do all this crazy stuff. Just to, man, people don't want to do all that, bro, and spend all that kind of money. Where, let's just say the AVM 100 comes out, right, and then the AVM 100 is $7,500, and they drop, or the AVM 100 is $8,000, right? Let's say come out AVM 100 is $8 grand, right? Sell the AVM 90, which probably you're not going to sell because it sounds so amazing, no reason to get rid of it. But you sell the AVM 90 for $6,900, right? And the person doesn't have to pay tax. You might buy it for $6,900, and then you just pay a little bit more and get like a AVM 100 if that's what you want. You still come out better than spending $19,000 on a trinnov. Better than spending $19,000 on a trinnov. Come out better than spending $19,000 on a trinnov. Come out better than spending $19,000 on a trinnov.
I swear sometimes that guy, he's got a voice that sounds like a Dalek. Exterminate. He sounds a little bit like Alex Jones. You ever listen to Alex Jones when he's ranting? He sounds like a Dalek. Conspiracy theories. Yeah, there is a conspiracy. Dolby Atmos is it's a conspiracy. Oh, yeah, it is true. It is so true. Why spend that? Which I've done. I regret it. I could sell it and just think, fuck it. What does it? And the guy goes in that video, it sounds. But can it do all the sound format codes? How many sound format codes can it do? You know? I mean, you look at Dolby, like one product, I mean, crikey, you got several format codes on that processor to select for the different film prints. But in the home, it's rather limited. It's a bit of a cheat, I think. I really do think it's a little bit of a cheat. I'd rather have a processor that can do, you know, but then everyone's got their crappy home theatre and you can't even do a basic 5 screen. You don't know what you're missing. Like on Gravity. If that's one of your big demos in your home theatre, you don't know what you're missing, even if you're using the basic 5 screen channel. You're missing out on all the fun of the liquid, luxurious sound. And then you can go from 5 up to 7 screen channel. Wow. You don't know what you're missing. You're missing a lot of the competition in your home theatres. And I'm talking about even youth man going round to crappy home theatres in Texas that 1.4 or whatever it is $million, and all that guy's got in his crappy home theatre is a crappy JBL 3-screen speaker. Oh my goodness. Behind the times. See, that's what $1 million crappy home theatres in Texas get you. Crappy home theatres. with a, what's he got, a crappy JBL synthesis, isn't he? Probably not interested in waveforming, just as I'm not interested in waveforming. Couldn't care less about it. I'm not missing anything. All this bullshit about seat to seat bass consistency is a load of horse shit. Otherwise, anyone that's using waveforming, prove it. Prove it that it's consistent and also in the actual feel, in 3D. Not just, oh, it's a bubble of sound, it's cohesive and all that bullshit. Does it actually feel like the same from seat to seat to seat? I bet it doesn't. It's going to be variable. It might be acoustically a little bit, but does it actually feel? Otherwise you're bullshitting, Trinnov, and I don't care to use your fucking waveforming. I've had the fucking cables, I've had the converters to put onto those cables, I've had that fucking shit now for about getting all close to a fucking year, and I've not even bothered jumping on it. Don't fucking care for it. Oh, he wants some feeding. Okay, I'm getting to it. Yeah, you want some as well. I'm gonna try the. Just when I come in the kitchen, mate, they think it's. Oh, what's going on? Yeah, okay. I think it's the hot weather. I'll do you a little bit in a moment. Hold on. Whoa. Yeah, hold on, Joey. Hold on. All right. Yeah, I know you're drowning. Here you go. Alright, come on, Joe. Come on. Here you go. No, I've eaten today. Alright, okay, you just had something to eat. You just had something to eat, little fella. No, I'm gonna grab an ice cream and go and cool off. I've got to throw that out. There's no way I'm gonna. Where was it? That came from fucking Tesco? I've got some of those. Okay. Oh yeah, I've got a load of those. Meow. Come on. Fucking hell. Oh, temperature's down to about 20 now. So it's probably, I don't know, probably still around about 25. Roast all the roast everything, roast it. Yeah, why is that what I saw the other day, was it? Why is that Shane Lee got a what's he trying to do? I know what he's trying to copycat the other guy. Try it, just because I've seen this around, less than 10 years ago, I think. I saw home theatres with projecting the image on a very largish 16:9 screen or such. So it went sidewall to sidewall, floor to ceiling. Of course, the seating in the room was a little bit further back. To get a immersive real image is like what you're looking at when you're looking around a room or outdoors, but an image that's projected onto a flat surface is still, to me, a front focal image. Doesn't go above the ceiling or below the floor or outside those walls or what. And it's just the same with crappy IMAX. It's still an image that's projected front and focal. What is that deep meow? That is some deep meowing there, Mel. We should register you, Mel, like Mel Gibson. Mel is a lethal meower. I'm going to register you as a lethal meower. That was a deep meow. I doubt Mel Gibson can even meow that loud. Yeah. So you got Shane Lee trying to do like that guy in the basement with IMAX screen. Yeah, right. Don't forget the IMAX screens are slightly curved. They're not flat. They're curved. They got a slight curve in that screen. Otherwise, it's no more different than looking at back in the day when I was projectionist, looking at the smaller screens at UCI. Were flat screens in the auditorium, the screen 5 and 6, the larger auditorium, and the screens there were slightly curved, and a lot better to look at than the smaller screens, actually, because the way the smaller screens had the screen a little bit high up. It looks a little bit weird, And it's amazing, even in those small auditoriums, that the Dolby stereo bloody work very well. It's amazing. But not as still as good as the 5 and 6 larger auditoriums, to where the screen speakers were located. So you got the middle seating row, and then you got the ones off to the side of the aisle that go down the sides, and those are obviously going to be the worst place for their sound. The sound, but you don't hear the detail. You might get some. Wow, listen to her meow. That's more entertaining than Mel Gibson. Yeah. So I couldn't even claim to do an IMAX projection in my room, because the screen's got to be slightly curved. And would you buy one of those bullshit snake oil home theatre IMAX ones? No, rip off. It's going to make your home theatre or make yourself feel witty. I think you're going to be in for a big disappointment. It's like all the bullshit that goes with all these products. IMAX enhancement. Don't they mean Limax? And that's fucking useless. It's a lie. Their only fucking use is for a stupid few shitty Blu-ray or UHD shitty movies. When was the last one when someone was talking about IMAX enhancement about on their home theatre now? Huh? They got shitty content for that fucking thing. It's useless. Should have had THX on that fucking should have put home THX on that fucking trinnov. At least it's got some fucking function with every fucking soundtrack that goes into that processor. Fucking IMAX enhancements, it just sits on the fucking processor, mostly dormant. Do you understand what dormant fucking means? Fucking asleep. Fucking hell. What a fucking rip-off of the home theatre market is. Because I think, seriously, it's been heading down. And then they just try to cook up this shit for a load of boneheads out there that think, oh, IMAX. And they just buy it. I didn't buy my other AV receiver just because it had fucking... No, because it had fucking... what the fuck? 6 overhead speakers. Use. Until you realise then some of the mixes that go on it are sometimes crap, and you only get 2 speakers that are only used. Huh? What? I thought this fucking thing was an immersive format. What a fucking rip-off. Yeah, if I want to do, like, strip all the fucking JBL off the ceiling, what the fuck am I going to do with the fucking speakers, fuck's sakes, and then just revamp it and do a total fucking fuck off fucking uniform speaker coverage. Starts one end of the fucking room right down to the fucking back, fucking sidewall to fucking sidewall, fucking speakers, fucking... That will be a uniform sound. Be whether play a fucking mono matrix, 424, Dolby stereo, and it'll just be a complete fucking... It won't have any of this fucking hole in the bucket, dear Liza. It won't have any of that fucking shit. It'll be completely fucking uniform. People say they're extreme with their sub bass. Yeah, will you go extreme? Yeah, and you go that guy with his crappy home theatre. what's he just got 2 speakers or 4 on the fucking ceiling that are placed like over here, and all the rest of the seating's down this end? How the fuck are you supposed to hear those speakers then, huh? I think he's been laying a little bit low now. A couple of months ago, hype. Boneheads going there just so they can fill sub bass at 150 plus dB. How boring. Yeah. Dolby Labs are full of shit. Remember that thing they had back in the early 2000s? Sonic whole overhead sound. From what I can recall, I don't know where I got it somewhere, because you can't find that picture anywhere on the internet now, the artist's illustration. But where's the actual picture? That's got to show the dubbing stage, because the dub stage has got to be rigged out. Doubt it. Everywhere today you go, someone's always got a fucking homemade fucking video of something. Not a fucking video, no fucking pictures, just a fucking artist's illustration that shows you what it should look like. And it was literally a fucking cluster of speakers on the ceiling. Not that shitty layout by Dolby Labs Atmos. You're probably wondering, ooh, what was that? What's going on out there? He's gradually climbing around everywhere now. He's gradually, yeah, that's brilliant with cats. They got no fucking fear. Or so, just curiosity, and they start climbing around everywhere. And in the process, knocking things over. And you've still got that crappy Dolby Atmos. Crappy home theatres. The crappy home theatres out there. And you think, oh, I only got 2 speakers on this overhead for this crappy Atmos mix. And you can't figure out how to get that sound spread out on all the speakers that you've, oh my goodness, invested in. You don't have a fucking clue, you home theatre people out there, how to use all those speakers on the ceiling when they're only using 2. You don't know how to utilise all the other speakers on your home theatre. Takes me just a few seconds to figure that out. Of course, you have to buy some hardware to plug in to make it happen. Yeah. But you don't get that built into a trinnov. Nah, trinnov isn't advanced. Nor is every other. Not even a. Yeah, I doubt even the CP850 could do that. It should. and it should be selectable as a different format code. But why? It should be mandatory, all this fucking discrete sound moving around overhead, but artistically that makes continuity fucking sense with the fucking image. Otherwise it's just a load of random sound effects fucking thrown up there. Doesn't make any fucking cohesive sense whatsoever. Top Gun Maverick deserves to be thrown in a fucking bin. Along with Tom Cruise, because he'll probably bullshit market. Oh, we're telling storytelling with atmos in this movie. It's great. It's immersive. Bullshit. I mean, this ice cream is more entertaining than Dolby Atmos. So you can get in any angle and get the immersiveness. You can do all these sorts of, look, there's an object moving around. I think they should call it Dolby Piss Take. Dolby Piss Take. That's what it is. It's a piss take. 15 years of taking the piss. See, when you're young, you think it's all great. As you get older, you realise what a fucking ride you've been taken for. Dolby Labs would do any bullshit whatsoever to keep their bullshit atmos relevant and keep lying to the public. Just they're worse than politicians, Dolby Labs. They are worse than politicians. What day is it? What day is it? Oh, it's that day. Oh, well, it doesn't have any relevance to me. What's it? A couple of weeks in it until that crappy Nolan piece of shit comes out into the cinema. I think if anyone's serious about boycotting it and all that, just stay at home. Go and if you got the Troy movie with what was it called, something Brad Pitt or something, I'd probably put that version on. Just stay at home. Save cinemas from giving the ticket price money for that piece of rubbish and garbage food like the popcorn, and whatever else. Do they serve hot dogs in cinemas anymore? Yeah, just stay at home. Stay away from those shitty IMAX cinemas. They're a piece of shit. and stay away, and mostly stay away from the fucking Limax. Yeah. If it's playing mostly to mostly empty auditoriums, only a few people or whatever, then that film would be leaving big auditorium cinemas or whatever before the week is over. Because they'll think, what's the fucking point of keeping this in this, or well, okay, we'll move it to a smaller, crappy, even more crappy small screen, just like they did with Supergirl. That crap was supposed to be like, if it was back in the day, even if it didn't do very well, if it were playing in 70mm in some places, it'd probably do maybe 2-3 weeks, but it would be doing very, very poorly. But today it was like, fucking hell, Leicester, it was moved from one big auditoria to a tiny one in less than a fucking week. No one cared for it. No one absolutely cared for the stupid fucking CGI dog in it, or the stupid characters, the stupid fucking story. No one fucking cared for it. Gone and forgotten about. And yet everyone can still remember the 84 version. Yeah. There's a lot of crap coming out in that in cinemas now. A lot of crap. It's no longer the 1970s Star Wars big hit whatever. It's no longer that decade anymore. Certainly not even the 80s with Raiders of the Lost Ark or Star Trek movies, Die Hard, whatever, Predator, fucking Commando. Remember, Sully, when I promised to release you? Ha 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 ha. He's right, Matrix, you did. I lied. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, no longer, it's no longer those decades anymore. It's not even the fucking 90s anymore. Fucking hell. Fucking hell, it's bad, isn't it? It's bad, isn't it? It's terrible. Yeah. Just got wokeness everywhere. Wokeness everywhere. I mean, they don't even have good fucking floppers. Like Jaws 3. Or worse, Jaws 4. Not even Ishtar. I mean, I've never seen that movie. I've seen a trailer to it. Camels out in the desert or something. That's about all I can remember. But I'm thinking, what's it actually like? The soundtrack. Is it really immersive storytelling? Ishtar. Then I don't think I could be able to stand or fucking tolerate fucking Dustin Hoffman. Isn't he one of the Hollywood, yeah, disgraceful, isn't it? I think their mixers out there are also, and Dolby Labs. Wouldn't surprise me if they're in a ring. Wouldn't surprise me at all. It's okay to feel disappointed. Yeah, it's okay. Where's the guy, the Dalek?
Right? You do. Even when you get the trinnov C1. The way they do it, like, you pay, like, to add additional channels, and then you have to have somebody, like, configure it for you, a dealer, and like, bro, that thing is, like, for you, and then you have to have somebody, like, configure it for you, a dealer, and like, bro, that thing is, like, for you to spend tons of money. So by the time you get to the channel count that you want,
oh God. Now I get some shitty advertisement. Guess what? Home cinema design. Well, it can fuck off.
You might have well just bought like a trinnov. Like, what is it? The trinnov altitude 16, right? Like, what is it? The trinnov altitude 16.
Why would you want to get the fucking trinnov altitude 16? It's a piece of garbage. Just like the trinnov CI. Doesn't have many inputs on it. It's a piece of garbage. It's junk. Yeah, why would you want to bother with that?
Right? Or the altitude 32, because
I mean, this guy, was it on YouTube, he might not have more than 16 channels, and you know, so he's having a little bitch and moan about it. He's probably never owned a CB radio ever in his life, so he probably, you know, doesn't know much difference between something like 40 channel CB radio. Ha! I could go up and down the channels on it and modulate.
You might save maybe a few dollars here and there, but it's just, I mean, it's so minute. And then you gotta have somebody come do it and all, or deal with it. And it's a problem, right? And home theater, I feel like it's getting to a point to where they want you to buy like a remote that you have to go through a dealer to use. It's like home theater is becoming so scammy, bro. It is. You have to go through a dealer to use. It's like home theater is becoming so scammy, bro. Remote that you have to go through a dealer to use. It's like home theater is becoming so scammy, bro.
Yeah, I gotta get him on the roster at the big screen. Ow! Melt out! Joey, you stop biting my leg. Well, Joey, if I die in my sleep, make sure you clean your plate if you're going to eat me. Use me as a natural resource, okay? Whoa, look at it. I'm a Dalek.
Bro. It is remote that you have to go through a dealer to use. It's like home theater is becoming so scammy, bro.
Yeah, of course it is. Home theatre is really becoming scammy. All these shitty like youth men doing all these fucking what do you call it, videos with remote controls. What the fuck would you want a piece of crap like that for? I just use the actual remote control that comes with the product. I don't bother with that nonsense. Otherwise, guess what? You're still fumbling around. Click this, click that. Yeah? You know how many fucking times it takes to change the aspect ratio on a fucking LG? You gotta press the button, this, that, until you get to the actual, and then click change the aspect ratio to fit the laser disc. So you expand the image a little while bigger, and then you gotta do another click to turn the menu off on the fucking TV. You know how long it fucking took me to fucking change the aspect ratio on a fucking 35mm fucking projector? Fucking far fucking less than what all your fucking home theatres are out there. Fucking far less. I could still fucking do that aspect ratio change in my fucking head. I had to fucking learn that shit thinking, fucking hell, you got to do all this fucking shit for fucking entertaining the fucking public. Fucking unbelievable. I had to fucking learn that shit for days until it's in my fucking head. And then when you do it, it's like, oh, it's just like anything else. It's like riding a bike. Fucking hell. But fucking all this shit with home theatre. What a fucking scam. You gotta buy shitty fucking anamorphic lenses, what they call it, a panogram or whatever the fuck it's called. 10 fucking grand for that piece of shit. You can go on fucking eBay and buy fucking anamorphic lenses, and all you need to do is just strip the fucking motherfucker down, take the optic out, put it into a new housing that's a little bit lighter weight. Shabam! Now you got a fucking anamorphic lens. Fucking far cheaper. It is. Fucking home theatre is a fucking honest fucking scam. You got people like you. I don't know why people fucking go on that channel, really. Just to eat his bullshit up, just for getting, you know, so you go out and buy something and force it down your own throat. I'm fucking done past through that shit now.
It is. Through a dealer to you. It's like home theater is becoming so scammy, bro. It is. Like, you know, and I know, I'm not gonna say I know these guys, but I've been around a lot of these reviewers. I can't even hear a lot of them. My hearing's not the same. You hear, they say it in passing in some of these videos, like my hearing's not the same, but these are guys telling you what sounds good and what doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, just wake up.
You know what I mean? I know what you mean. If you put your headphones on, closed headphones that go, not those stick fucking motherfuckers you stick in your, although you gotta know what you're listening for. You gotta know, because there are a few things with the shape of our ear, or the when you put closed ones on. I gotta usually test it with a high frequency, like an 8 kilohertz sine wave, and then just move it until it's about right, so I hear the tone on this side. Then I've got to adjust this one, move it slightly until I hear the tone A-OK on this side. Otherwise the tone just goes like you don't notice it, or you not noticing the peak of the signal. You got to slightly adjust the head. You can't just throw headphones on your head, otherwise you'll just hear normal other frequencies, middle range tones, or bass frequency ain't a problem, but higher frequencies, you got to slightly adjust it a little bit, otherwise you think you know, you're not hearing it. Plus you got to make sure that the headphones are okay in the equalization. Can't just, you know, it's a little bit scientific, so you got to measure the headphones, see what their frequency. There should be slightly equal on the left or right, with a slight little difference. That's easy to compensate and adjust once you got that all figured out, and then you just put keep it a flat response, try and get it electronically equalized until you got a flat response. But a little bit messy. It'll take a little while to get it sorted, because it ain't a magic wand that you're going to buy some shitty product like on an AV receiver and it's going to do a magic wand trick. You got to make sure it's done correctly. And then, you know, because when you generate sine wave tones on an RTA, they always usually roughly go to the same level. If they start rolling off, then that's something that's going on with either the computer, the sound card on the computer, or the processor. That's where the signal's going into, or could be the sound card, the REW. You got to check everything and run a loop, send the signal out back into the computer and run a signal loop test to see if it's, you know, and then if you see a roll off, then you got to think, You got to compensate that by putting a filter to get it up a little bit flatter, and then you're ready to go with the hearing test in a quiet room. And if you can't find a quiet room, then you wait till night time until it's absolutely quiet. Then you do the test. It's very simple, doesn't take long. Then you can see roughly what the graph is going to look like once you've finished. It's going to be very low. You're going to hear sine wave tones at a very low level down here, and then when you get to low frequencies, you've got to elevate it up slightly, because our hearing range is not going to hear those tones very clearly, and so you've got to elevate the sine wave tone generated on the test signal so you can receive it. And then the same goes for the high frequency, because our hearing's just going to completely roll off, and you got to compensate until roughly what frequencies and the high frequencies you can hear. You might hear some noise being generated on the in the process. If you're generating, say, like on some of these things like 16,000 kilohertz or something, and you can hear something that sounds like an audible frequency, it's most likely slightly like below, kind of like a subharmonic or something. It's generated slightly below, because usually the frequencies and harmonics usually go above, and we start hearing these frequencies that I think, oh, that's infrasonic frequency I'm hearing. No, it's not. It's a harmonic. You see a fundamental, but you can also, if you're not observing an RTA analyzer, you can hear, you'll be able to see these harmonics popping up, and you think you're hearing a legitimate infrasonic, but when you're not. You turn the gain level down, or the fader level down, and then those harmonics eventually they disappear. They could get generated by the speaker, they could get generated either by the amplifier or generated by the processor, depending on how high the level is set to. And then you get these harmonics popping up. Otherwise our hearing range is crap. I'll be surprised if I could still hear 16,000 kilohertz, because the last time I checked were a couple of years ago. A lot can happen in a couple of years. My hearing range could drop down a little bit extra. There's nothing I could do about it. It's evolution. It's been ongoing for a long time. And the more that anyone listens to bashing, crashing, fucking stupid their fucking home theatres or music, and they're just cramming out the fucking high frequency level, ridiculous SBL fucking level, you're just going to end up with high frequency hearing loss, and then all those high frequencies eventually will just be, it'll be like, it won't be rolling off like that, it'll be like boom, it'll be like that, completely fucking useless. The fucking hearing aid's not going to do much there. They're only designed for a certain range in our hearing spectrum, so that we can hear voice, speech. That's all audiologists check when they check your hearing. So the only frequency range they care about is about roughly maybe 100, or just maybe a little low than 100 hertz up to about 8,000 kilohertz. That's all they care about, that you can understand speech. I don't give a shit about whether you can hear infrasonic. But you could test that in the home if you want. For whatever, whatever, you shouldn't really hear anything below 20 when you're doing it under ideal scientific levels. You'd just be like, you've got this kind of screwed up face look like I'm not too sure. But you could put a microphone still on that headphone, and it will probably show up on the RTA, and that's another thing, the frequency response on the headphones. but they're not really designed so we can hear infrasonic. You might as well stick those headphones on a fucking elephant or a pigeon. And even they are going to have a limited range in the high frequencies. That pigeon can hear infrasonic. An elephant. But their hearing, and as it goes way up higher, is going to be limited. Basically, what it comes boiling down to is ego. That you notice a pressure in the room. There's something, going on. It's moving something within the room, but not everything. Only some things where that signal may get where it builds up in the corner, and the signal just goes up a little bit. If that speaker were outdoors, it's the total opposite. You need a fucking lot more than 24 subs. A lot of air outside to move. And for what? Some crappy movie? Some crappy woke Atmos movie? Atmos movies are not special mixes with their LFE. They're not. If you think they are, then you're seriously deluded. Because you can have the 5.1 version, that LFE is going to be the same fucking signal. And it's a mono signal. Don't forget, it's a mono signal. You can't get much out. That's like trying to get blood out of a fucking stone. You can't get a lot out of that LFE. You gotta think. You gotta fucking think. You remember that song? You better think. Do. You better think. Was it the Blues Brothers? Yeah, you gotta think. What was it? Yeah, just trying around. That's it. Fucking hell, Pepsi
Have you
Cola.
ever seen a product that transforms any ordinary space into a dreamy underwater world in just 1 second?
Oh, that's
Meet the
interesting.
Kamau Immersive Ocean Projector, the mood light that's taking the market by storm. Over
That's
100,000 sold and already the #1 bestseller online. Just plug in the USB and in 1 second, your ceiling or car interior comes alive with graceful blue whales, glowing
Is that a
jellyfish,
scam?
and vibrant coral reefs, like bringing the entire ocean into your home or vehicle. Breathtaking? Absolutely. Forget those cheap projectors that just throw blurry blobs of light with zero atmosphere. This one uses cutting-edge Las Vegas sphere-grade projection
this
tech
looks like
for
a little
ultra-sharp,
bit of hype
lifelike
bullshit
underwater
marketing
visuals.
to
It
me.
even has a 360-degree and
To put a
flexible
fucking
memory
image
net.
that
Bend it
fucking
anywhere you
good.
like. Ceiling, wall, desk, it projects perfect scenes at any angle with just one click.
Yeah, I just
Choose
looked
from
for
15
another
plus
YouTube
ocean and
video
celestial
where it
modes.
says,
Swim
"It's
through tropical
bullshit."
reefs today, drift among stars tomorrow. Switch between deep sea wonders and cosmic
Otherwise,
galaxies
yeah,
anytime.
I like
Turn your
that
car
sort
into a
of.
submarine,
Oh,
your kids'
hold
room
on,
into an
hold on,
undersea
hold on.
adventure, or your dinner table into a romantic seascape. All in seconds. And yes, it's built to last. Certified with strict PSE safety standards, it runs cool, stays safe, and emits soft, eye-friendly light. Perfect for homes with babies or seniors. Skip expensive car lighting mods and skip the aquarium tickets. With this, you save up to 99% on creating magical ambiance and enjoy your own private ocean anytime. Right now, the manufacturer is running a 1-hour flash sale, 50% off. You also get a lifetime warranty and a 14-day free trial.
Lifetime
if the
warranty.
effect doesn't match the stunning HD visuals in the video, or if there's any quality
believe
issue,
that
we'll
bullshit.
give you 10x your money back. This deal lasts only 1 hour, then prices go back up. Click now to bring your very own ocean home and unlock a romantic, immersive light experience you've never felt before.
I think I'll take a pass on that.
You better think about what you're saying. You better think about the consequences of your act.
Oh, shut up, woman.
You better saying. You better think about the consequences of your act.
All right, there's two things there I'm seeing in the product placement there. Pepsi Cola on one side and blurred image in the background, Coca-Cola.
Shut up, woman.
You better think.
And I see yeah, that same thing in the background there again, Coca-Cola. Oh, hang on, what else have we got in the product placement?
Oh, shut up, woman.
You better think.
We got Heinz ketchup on the counter. Yep, there's another product placement there. You got to put it on your burgers, yeah, and your hot dogs. Ketchup.
Think about what's trying.
Think. Yeah, got Coca-Cola there again. Coca-Cola. Pepsi. Coca-Cola.
With our Sprint delivery service, we can get this over to them in as little as 20 minutes. No?
Yeah, it's Pepsi and Coca-Cola in the background. And then Kills the Blues Brothers came up and one of them asked for, I think it was a Coke. And dry white bread and four chickens, was it? Yeah, even the bloody thumbnail, I can see bloody Pepsi Cola there and just a little bit of Coca-Cola. Yeah, better think.
You know, and
drinking.
you get
better think. Yeah. Oh my goodness me! Oh my goodness, I'm going to turn into a gremlin if I get myself wet. Where's the water? I'll put some water on me. I'm going to have a meal. I'll turn into a gremlin. It's after midnight. Burning the midnight oil on the ranting. Slagging off my home theatre and slagging off everything else. It's a scam. It's a Dolby Lab scam. Movie scam. Movie mixers, soundtrack scam.
get different characteristics. Well, it's the same thing with processors and receivers, right?
George Lucas scamming.
Like if you have like a Marantz, it's gonna be warmer sounding. If you have a like a Denon, is gonna be more neutral sounding. If you have, you know what I mean, like you have an Anthem, it's, things gonna sound a little bit different, right? And because I'm moving more into the audiophile sphere, and I started, and then I go back and I listen to my home theater system. It's got the Anthem AVM 90. I have even a greater appreciation for what it can do, right? Not only is it sound great with music, right? Because some of these 2-channel like music systems don't even sound as good as the Anthem AVM 90, right? Not only does it sound good there, you can hear just the micro dynamics of what's going on in the movie, right? Like all the little tiny nuanced sounds that you might miss from a receiver, you can hear it, right? Trinnov's not the only company that does that, so these guys want you to think that, but that's not really the case, so yeah, like, I mean, you guys don't know, all y'all, the home theater dealers, but what's going on in the movie, right? Like all the little tiny nuanced sounds that you might miss from a receiver, you can hear it, right? Trinnov's not the only company that does that. That you might miss from a receiver, you can hear it, right? Trinnov's not the only company that does that. Might miss from a receiver, you can hear it, right? Like all the little tiny nuanced sounds that you.
I don't know what he's babbling on about there, like all the bloody details and all. Fucking hell. When was the last time that guy ever went to a fucking THX cinema? Probably never. He's probably never been to a THX cinema ever in his life. Fucking hell, I was hearing all those fucking details fucking decades ago. What's he going on about? Like, these processors are going to make a fucking difference, like you're hearing nuanced. That's bullshit. That's complete horse shit. That's totally fucking misleading. A trinnov is not going to make it any more better than a fucking stupid, shitty, crappy Denon or a fucking crappy Yamaha. The only fucking difference I've fucking noticed between these fucking processors, that one seems to be faster and quicker with getting a Dolby AC-free lock on Laserdisc than all the other processors or receivers that I've tried, where it takes 1.5 of a second, whereas a trinnov is just using a different chip and it only takes about half of that, 0.5 of a second. But details and all that, no, they're still the fucking same. What you got on the fucking disc or whatever is what you're going to get out. And hearing details and all that, well, that depends on the speaker's frequency response. That depends on the frequency response. Otherwise, you got to measure that speaker up fucking close and try and get it as, you know, flat as possible, because all these wiggles and up and down, they're just going to peak at certain points, you know, and cause a masking effect. And you got to get that, and then you start hearing a little bit more detail just by electronically equalizing the speaker. Otherwise, if you just have a speaker and purposely try and put a filter in it where it's going to have a hump, and then change the crossover slopes change the crossover slopes a little bit, then you're not going to hear much detail. You're going to hear this fucking exaggerated fucking peak frequency all the time, whilst it's also masking the other frequencies in front of it and slightly behind it. You get a masking effect. Or, if some like to call it, colouring the sound. And it's colorizing the sound. It's got like too much. Well, it's like painting, isn't it? Painting now painting. Let me see now. You could have a mixture of colours on a canvas where you could see all the colours. Then you could do another of the same painting, only you purposely put a colour in it that just completely overwhelms all the other colours, and then you just see this like, what the fuck is that? I don't know. Is that art, or was that just someone just spilt the fucking tin of paint all over the fucking canvas? But no, you got to electronic equalise the speaker, customise it very carefully. Can't use these shitty trinnov EQ equaliser. That doesn't do it all. You go in closer when you've done the EQ. It's using a third octave usually, and it makes it look like the frequency response is nice and smooth. And it did it did all that in a little bit less than the time that it takes to fucking fuck around with an Anthem or a fucking Dirac or whatever the fucking else those fucking EQs are called, where they just take a little bit longer. You basically want the tools in front of you, the RTA analyzer, the microphones set up, or microphones all set up in positions near to the speakers in specific location, and then get cracking. But you're going to think, where's the bass gone? I think where's the bass gone is really like, you don't really notice it in reality when you think about it. We just hear the tone. And it depends on what scene or what it is, when you should feel it. Psychoacoustics. Otherwise, yeah, it's not a big deal. If you get a flat, you get it all flat response, and then literally, but it takes a little bit more than just a fucking fuck around with a fucking Dirac or some magic bean rubbish or whatever has been stuck out there. It could take fucking days, if not weeks, until you got it all sussed out. Ain't gonna fucking happen in a fucking few hours.
You might miss from a receiver, you can hear it, right? Trinnov's not the only company that does that, you know. So these guys want you to think that, but that's not really the case, you know. So yeah, like I mean, you guys don't know, all y'all, you know, the home theater dealers, but you can't bully me. No, you can't. You know what I mean? So, and I've heard, and one thing the advantage I think I have over a lot of people, I've heard a lot of this stuff a lot of times. Right? You know what I mean? I've demoed a lot of this stuff a lot of times. So it's just like, you guys can't really pull the wool over my eyes with a lot of this stuff. So, but as far as the trinnov, you know, I do like the trinnov CI. I think it responds a lot faster to things, but it's still like audio sync delay issue. But I do feel, and that guy I was talking about, he got into my comment section, right? He's like, oh, well, you didn't play the video. Yeah, I'm not going to play the video. If I play the video, you can pull it down. You know what I mean? Why would I play your video if you could pull it down and give me a copyright strike? I'm not going to do that. You know, I'm not going to lure me into doing that. Now, I could do it and, like, manipulate the footage and stuff like that and edit it or whatever. I could still, like, do another video and really show you, like, what you messed up at. But I don't want to, you know, I mean, go through all of that and using your footage or whatever, but I can. I mean, if you really want me to do that, I know how to do that very well. If you know my other channel, I can do that very well. But, you know, you can have your opinions, but to me, bro, it just seemed like.
All right, so I got my HeSit in the mail. I'm gonna open it up and show you how it looks. I've heard a lot of good things about this product, so I'm excited to try it out. So, as you can see, it comes in a nice little case.
Here is the all-new generation of dentures, FDA certified and with the European CE mark. We offer an absolute guarantee. If it is a counterfeit, we will refund you 10 times the purchase price.
Bullshit.
You were kind of mixed up. You know what I mean? Like you talking about like a AVM 70 that you had. You comparing it to a trinnov, but then you're trying to say AVM 90 is, you know, you comparing the AVM 90 to a trinnov. It doesn't make sense.
Get some
to have that kind of thought process when you don't even have an AVM 90. You see what I'm saying? Like, are you? How have you ever heard one in passing? But you've never even had like an AVM 90, AVM 70, and the trinnov is different, right? So you know, but when you go to AVM 90 and trinnov, that's where I have an issue because they're very close in sound signature. If you want to argue, you know, you might have to buy a whole new unit, AVM 100 and all of that stuff to get like new features if they come out with GTX Pro and stuff like that. For it, that's fine, you know what I mean? But you could sell your AVM 90 and then just pay like you know, whatever difference and get like an AVM 100. But if you want to deal with all of these, you know what I mean, doing stuff like that with a new processor or receiving, and processors like Anthems don't come out like every year. You know what I mean? Like, let's stop that. Like, they don't do that like every year, every 4 months it's a new one. Like, that's not what it is. You're probably gonna have it for a while. You know what I mean? But I mean, is it worth paying like 19 grand for 16 channels And then, like, if you want to add more subwoofers or whatever, then you got to buy like a, extender and do all this crazy stuff. Just to, man, people don't want to do all that and spend all that kind of money. Where, let's just say the AVM 100 comes out, right? And then the AVM 100 is $7,500 and they drop, or the AVM 100 is $8,000, right? Let's just say come out AVM 100 is eight grand, right?
Yeah.
Sell the AVM 90, which probably you're not going to sell because it sounds so amazing. No reason to get rid of it. But you sell the AVM 90 for $6,900, right? And the person doesn't have to pay tax. You might buy it for $6,900, and then you just pay a little bit more and get like an AVM 100 if that's what you want. You still come out better than spending $19,000 on a trinnov, right? You do. Even when you get the trinnov C1, the way they do it, like, you pay like to add additional channels, and then you have to have somebody like configure it for you, a dealer, and like, bro, that thing is like for you to spend tons of money. So by the time you get to the channel count that you want, you might have well just bought like a trinnov, like what is it? The trinnov altitude 16, right? Or the altitude 32, because you might save maybe a few dollars here and there, but it's just, I mean, it's so minute. And then you gotta have somebody come do it or deal with it. And it's a problem, right? And home theater, I feel like, is getting to a point to where they want you to buy like a
Know what I mean? There it is. Oh, the real thing. The real Dolby Atmos. Exactly, Melanie. Meow. Look how fucking cheap that is. Meow, meow, meow. What the heck was that meow? Meow, meow, meow. Yeah, there it is. I'll take it off now. Yeah, yo, home theatres. Yeah, you'd think the Youth Man would jump on that. Yeah, you think the Youth Man or Shane Lee. Yeah, Shane Lee would jump on that. Yeah. Fuck yeah, now 1,200. Fucking hell, that's cheap. Almost takes the piss, it does. Yeah, they must be having Atmos issues in Japan today, where they're probably closing a lot of cinemas, or they're just throwing that one out because they got themselves a CP950. But hey, that's the first generation. That's the real Atmos. The real Atmos. You know you want it. You know you want it. Meow. Meow, meow, meow. Okay. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow. What's the other fucking thing they got on there? Oh, gosh. I think it shows up on this one because I'm on the UK. No, hang on, no, that's not. That's the US one. Oh, yeah, where's the other one? Let's try that keyword. You got CP like CP950, no, a 750, a CP 750 on here that costs a little bit more than that that Dolby Atmos processor. And you got another CP 750. That's, oh my goodness, it's about 4 times more than that than that Dolby Atmos. Don't know why they got these 750s that fucking price, really. Now, bloody hell, meow. Melanie, you got a very loud meow. They have to get you in the Guinness Book of Records. Fucking hell, there's another 750. Fucking hell, what? Is that brand new? Yeah, it's brand new, but it costs a lot more than that Dolby Atmos one. Ow. You sound drunk, Melanie. You do. That meow sounds drunk. Where's the fucking what's it on there? Fucking. I don't know why these 750s are so fucking. I mean, that processor is over fucking 10 years old. Melanie! Meow! You must have sold this other one. Where the fuck is it? Melanie, that is a very, very lot of meow. Yeah, I'll tell you what, you should be up with competition with Arthur. Yeah, he's got a very unusual meow. Meow. I could call you Melanie, the loud meower, the loud female meower. What the fuck for that fucking remote? Fucking daylight robbery. Whoa, what's that one? What's that fader remote go to? Oh, the 45. Oh yeah. Fucking hell, even that price is a little bit fucking steep. I forgot what they call it. It's on here on the Dolby ones, but probably got to use the other keywords. Try the cat. Try the cat. Nah, can't see it. Gotta have the right keyword. What's it called? It's an extender. That's all it is. It's the extender nodule that connects onto this Dolby Atmos processors. I wonder if I could use it on a trinnov. But I'm not interested. Not interested in expanding the channels on that trinnov. That Dolby Atmos doesn't fucking interest me anymore. Think a warm mill. I've had a mill, I've already had a mill. 64B. Yeah, those are the other generation 64B. Where's the first ones? many of those. Not many of those cars around. Oh, there's one of them. Oh, there's one there. Yeah, 64s. There's one there, no, that's second gen. That's first gen. Oh, that's a few more first gen there. Input, output, head equalizer. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's the real immersiveness. It's the real immersive storytelling. Don't give a fuck about the atmos thing. Oh well, that's all they got. You know you want it. You want liquid luxury Dolby Atmos in your home theatre that does a zillion channels. Dream on. Well, CB radio can do more than that.
A remote that you have to go through a dealer to use. It's like home theater is becoming so scammy, bro. It is. Like, you know, and I know, I'm not gonna say I know these guys, but I've been around a lot of these reviewers. I can't even hear a lot of them. My hearing's not the same. They say it in passing in some of these videos, like my hearing's not the same, but these are guys telling you what sounds good and what doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, just wake up, bro.
Like, and dealers are younger than what they used to be. So don't think because you see like a young person sitting around doing a video than what they used to be. So don't think because you see like these guys telling you what sounds good and what doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, just wake up, bro. Like, and dealers are younger than what they used to be. So don't think because you see like a young person sitting around doing a video that they ain't a dealer. You know what I mean? Because they are. There's a guy that just did a review on the Hyphaman Serenade, right? And I think I remember seeing this guy before. And I asked him, like, yo, are you a dealer? He laughed about it. Nah, I'm just doing reviews. I think the dude's a dealer. I think a lot of these guys are dealers. You know what I mean? And I'm not. You know, I bought a lot of stuff with my own money. I got one product in that was sponsored. Told you the truth about it. Told you it was sponsored. But mostly everything I have is bought with my own money. You know what I mean? I say you have to buy everything with your own money. Like, you can get sponsorships. Some people keep it real even though they get sponsorships and stuff like that. Don't mean keeping it real doesn't mean destroying a product, right? Keeping it real just means telling you what it can do and what it can't do, right? It's just what it is. But yeah, man, like these guys, man, these dealers out here, it's just, they're savages, man. They're everywhere. They're all over Facebook. They're all over Twitter. They're everywhere. You know, you say something, like, and here they come. Like, it's just, bro.
All these dealers,
they just want y'all to just believe smoke and mirrors and just give them tens of thousands of dollars. That's what it is. But let me know what y'all think down in the comment section below.
Like
come rate, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about that. As far as the trinnov, I think it sounds good once it starts running.
Cockroach.
Right? Once you, like, after the audio sync delay issues and all that, right?
Yeah, youth, man.
If you sit more than 6 hours a day, you need this cushion.
I
bought this ergonomic memory foam seat cushion thinking it would just add a little comfort, but it completely transforms my routine. The pressure relief design supports the hips and spine while improving circulation and reducing numbness during long sitting sessions. I noticed I feel far less tired at the end of the day, even after hours at my desk or behind the wheel. The memory foam adapts perfectly to body shape, creating a balanced seating experience that feels supportive without
nice
being
little
too firm.
scam that
It's
one
lightweight, easy to carry, and fits almost any chair instantly. Before this, long sitting always left me sore and uncomfortable. Now I actually enjoy sitting down to work or drive. This isn't just a cushion, it feels like a daily comfort upgrade for your entire body. If you want better support, better posture, and less fatigue, this is absolutely worth it.
This fucking advertisement. Fuck off.
Then it starts running. Yeah, it sounds good. Sounds good. The DAC that's in it, I think, you know, it sounds good. But it doesn't sound like night and day better than an AVM 90. It doesn't. You know what I mean? It sounds good. Every once in a while, it's a detail here or there you might hear that you may not hear from the AVM 90, but it's so close and there's so much going on in the movie. You know, mostly everything is close to the same. AVM 70, there's a bigger difference. MRX 1140, there's a bigger difference. The old Marantz Cinema 50 is not going to sound like a trinnov or an Anthem, right? When you get an AVM 90, you get a trinnov, they're very close in sound. It is. You know what I mean? Now, if you want to have 2 sets of surrounds and, you know, you got a big, huge theater, you got 30-something speakers, that's when the trinnov comes into play, right? Or if you want to have 3 rows of side surrounds, and that's when the trinnov comes into play. Unless you want to daisy chain them or something like that. You know what I mean? But other than that, I mean, they kind of sound very close, in my opinion. And let me know what y'all think down in the comment section below. Dealers, get out of your feelings. Not your feelings. I'm not telling people don't go to dealers. I'm not telling people don't buy a trinnov. That's never my goal, right? My goal is to make people aware of what are great products and what products are not that great, right? I've got a Kaleidoscape, right? It's a Strato V. I don't think it's the greatest product in the world. I bought it with my own money. A lot of these guys, you know, I don't say their names, but you already know who said their names before. But a lot of these guys, they get these things in for review and they get long-term reviews with them. They'll tell you, oh, the Kaleidoscape is great and amazing, and I fell for it, right? I bought it, and this thing is great about it, and this thing is not so great about it. You know what I mean? I'm up and down about the product, you know, and I keep it real with you guys about it. I bought it with my own money. You know what I mean? But the guy that did the trinnov video, I mean, I know he mad. You come across like a dealer, bro. You do. You know what I mean? Are you a dealer? I'm not saying you are, but a lot of these guys are, and I think you were really off in the video that you made, you know, trying to compare an AVM 90 to a trinnov. I just think you were. You know what I'm saying? But let me know what y'all think, especially when you had AVM 70. You know what I mean? But let me know what y'all think down in the comment section below. Comment, rate, subscribe. I'm hurting their feelings. They're mad at me.
Yeah.
I don't care. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. I'm out, y'all. Peace.
I want to see my balance anytime.
Top up, anyway. And if I'm ever caught short, I want to borrow energy credit and repay my way.
See my energy costs.
Faster to things, but it's still like audio sync delay issue. But I do feel, and that guy I was talking about, he got into my comment section, right? He's like, oh, well, you didn't play the video. Yeah, I'm not going to play the video. If I play the video, you can pull it down. You know what I mean? Why would I play your video if you could pull it down and give me a copyright strike? I'm not going to do that. You know, that lure me into doing that. Now, I could do it and like manipulate the footage and stuff like that and edit it or whatever. I could still like do another video and really show you like what you messed up at. But I don't want to, you know what I mean, go through all of that and using your footage or whatever, but I can. I mean, if you really want me to do that, I know how to do that very well. If you know my other channel, I can do that very well. But, you know, you could have your opinions, but to me, bro, it just seemed like you were kind of mixed up. You know what I mean? Like you talking about like a AVM 70 that you had. You comparing it to a trinnov, and then you're trying to say AVM 90 is, you know, you comparing an AVM 90 to a trinnov. It doesn't make sense to have that kind of thought process when you don't even have an AVM 90. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you ever heard one in passing, but you've never even had like an AVM 90. AVM 70 and a trinnov is different, right? So but when you go to AVM 90 and trinnov, that's where I have an issue, because they're very close in sound signature. If you want to argue, you know, you might have to buy a whole new unit, AVM 100 and all of that stuff to get like new features if they come out with DTSX Pro and stuff like that. For it, that's fine, you know what I mean? But you could sell your AVM 90 and then just pay like whatever difference and get like an AVM 100. But if you want to deal with all of these, you know what I mean, doing stuff like that when a new processor or receiver and processors like Anthems don't come out like every year. You know what I mean? Like, let's stop that. Like, they don't do that like every year, every 4 months it's a new one. Like, that's not what it is. You're probably gonna have it for a while. You know what I mean? But I mean, is it worth paying like 19 grand for 16 channels? And then like if you want to add more subwoofers or whatever, then you gotta buy like a receiver. And processors like Anthems don't come out like every year. You know what I mean? Like, let's stop that. Like, they don't do that like every year, every 4 months it's a new one. Like, that's not what it is. You're probably gonna have it for a while. You know what I mean? But I mean, is it worth paying like 19 grand for 16 channels? And then like is it worth paying like 19 grand for 16 channels? And then like if you want to add more subwoofers or whatever, then you gotta buy like a extender and do all this crazy stuff. Just to, man, people don't want to do all that and spend all that kind of money. Where let's just say the AVM 100 comes out, right? And then the AVM 100 is $7,500 and they drop, or the AVM 100 is $8,000, right? Let's just say come out AVM 100 is eight grand, right? Sell the AVM 90, which probably you're not going to sell because it sounds so amazing. There's no reason to get rid of it. But you sell the AVM 90 for $6,900, right? And the person doesn't have to pay tax. You might buy it for $6,900, and then you just pay a little bit more and get like a AVM 100 if that's what you want. You still come out better than spending that, right? You hook up a video game console to a trinnov. Good luck. Good luck. If you trying to be competitive, all these audio sync delay issues, good luck. I'm not about to like lie to people here. You know what I mean? Or if you like, you got a kaleidoscope. One thing you do like in the home theater, right? We always looking for things to upgrade, even though if you don't need to upgrade it. It's just what we do, right? You might want new speakers. You might want new processors. Sometimes you might want new amps. Sometimes you might, you know what I mean? Just little things. Maybe a different center channel, all of that. You know what I mean? And then like after you pretty much upgraded your subwoofers and everything, you're like, well, what else can I do? You got the 4K UHD player, and then most people, they start looking at kaleidoscope, which I got one, right? The problem is you get a trinnov and you have a kaleidoscope, you're gonna have a problem, you know? So, and I'm not gonna act like you're not, you know, but these guys, like they'll do these videos or whatever and make the trinnov seem like it's just, you know, it's unbeatable, it's the best thing in the world, and it's not the case. When you listen to AVM 90 and a trinnov right next to each other, they sound very similar. Now, when you get into like DAC amps and headphones and stuff like that, you know, or DACs for headphones or you know, DACs for your 2-channel listening, you notice things with those, right? Like some of the sound characteristics are gonna be different, right? Some are warmer, some are cooler sounding, some are, you know, more transparent, some are more holographic. You know, all of that. Like you might be listening to a headphone, but if you connect it to multiple different DAC amps, you know, then you're gonna get a different tonality, different sound from like each DAC amp, right? If you got a good pair of headphones.
We promise a 10-fold refund if it doesn't work. Traditional dentures can lead to jawbone loss and change your facial contour over time, but this denture completely avoids such issues. It can be worn successfully in just 1 second and is suitable for everyone. Whether you have a full set of teeth, partial tooth loss, or no teeth at all, there's no need for adhesives, dentists, or appointments. You simply soak it in hot water to activate the elastic material, bite down to fit it to your unique oral shape, and you'll have brand new dentures in just a few minutes. My friends all say they look so realistic, just like dental implants. It addresses,
you know, and you get different characteristics. Well, it's the same thing with processors and receivers, right? Like if you have like a Marantz, it's going to be warmer sounding. If you have a, you know, like a Denon, is going to be more neutral sounding. If you have, you know what I mean? Like you have an Anthem, you know, things going to sound a little bit different, right? And because I've moved more into the audiophile sphere and I started, you know, and then I go back and I listen to my home theater system, it's got the Anthem AVM 90, I have even a greater appreciation for what it can do, right? Not only is it sound great with music, right? Because some of these 2-channel like music systems don't even sound as good as the Anthem AVM 90, right? Not only does it sound good there, you can hear just the micro dynamics of what's going on in the movie, right? Like all the little tiny nuanced sounds that you might miss from a receiver, you can hear it, right? Trinnov's not the only company that does that, you know? So these guys want you to think that, but that's not really the case, you know? So yeah, like, I mean, you guys don't know, all y'all, you know, the home theater dealers, but you can't bully me. No, you can't. You know what I mean? So, and I've heard, and one thing the advantage I think I have over a lot of people, I've heard a lot of this stuff a lot of times, right? You know what I mean? I've demoed a lot of this stuff a lot of times. So it's just like, you guys can't really pull the wool over my eyes with a lot of this stuff. So, but as far as the trinnov, you know, I do like the trinnov CI. I think it responds a lot faster to things, but it's still like audio sync delay issues. But I do feel, and that guy I was talking about, he got into my comment section, right? He's like, oh, well, you didn't play the video. Yeah, I'm not going to play the video. If I play the video, you can pull it down. You know what I mean? Why would I play your video if you could pull it down and give me a copyright strike? I'm not going to do that. You know, I'm not going to lure me into doing that. Now, I could do it and, like, manipulate the footage and stuff like that and edit it or whatever. I could still, like, do another video and really show you, like, what you messed up at. But I don't want to, you know, I mean, go through all of that and using your footage or whatever, but I can. I mean, if you really want me to do that, I know how to do that very well. If you know my other channel, I can do that very well. But, you know, you could have your opinions, but to me, bro, it just seemed like you were kind of mixed up. You know what I mean? Like you talking about like a AVM 70 that you had, you comparing it to a trinnov, but then you're trying to say AVM 90 is, you know, you comparing the AVM 90 to a trinnov. It doesn't make sense to have that kind of thought process when you don't even have an AVM 90. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you ever heard one in passing, but you've never even had like an AVM 90. AVM 70 and the trinnov is different, right? So but when you go to AVM 90 and trinnov, that's where I have an issue, because they're very close in sound signature. If you want to argue, you know, you might have to buy a whole new unit, AVM 100 and all that stuff to get like new features if they come out with DTXX Pro and stuff like that for it. That's fine, you know what I mean? But you could sell your AVM 90 and then just pay like you know, whatever difference and get like an AVM 100. But if you want to deal with all of these, you know what I mean, doing stuff like that when a new processor or receiver and processors like Anthems don't come out like every year. You know what I mean? Like, let's stop that. Like, they don't do that like every year, every 4 months it's a new one. Like, that's not what it is. You're probably gonna have it for a while. You know what I mean? But I mean, is it worth paying like 19 grand for 16 channels? And then like if you want to add more subwoofers or whatever, then you gotta buy like a you know, extender and do all this crazy stuff just to, man, people don't want to do all that, bro. And spend all that kind of money. Where let's just say the AVM 100 comes out, right? And then the AVM 100 is $7,500 and they drop, or the AVM 100 is $8,000, right? Let's just say come out AVM 100 is $8 grand, right? Sell the AVM 90, which probably you're not going to sell because it sounds so amazing, no reason to get rid of it. But you sell the AVM 90 for $6,900, right? And the person doesn't have to pay tax. You might buy it for $6,900, and then you just pay a little bit more and get like a AVM 100 if that's what you want. You still come out better than spending $19,000 on a trinnov, right? You do. Even when you get the trinnov C1, the way they do it, like you pay like to add additional channels, and then you have to have somebody like configure it for you, a dealer, and like, bro, that thing is like for you to spend tons of money. So by the time you get to the channel count that you want.
So everything you need is on here. Yep. Orders appear here. Yep. And with click and collect, we can get things ready in as little as 1 minute, so they can just grab and go.
Very keen, isn't he?
Yeah.
Tom? Aren't you?
Yeah. Click and collect in as little as 1 minute. Order on the app today.
you might have well just bought like a trinnov, like what is it, the trinnov altitude 16, right? Or the altitude 32, because you might save maybe a few dollars here and there, but it's just, I mean, it's so minute. And then you gotta have somebody come do it and or deal with it. And it's a problem, right? And home theater, I feel like, is getting to a point to where they want you to buy like a remote that you have to go through a dealer to use. It's like home theater is becoming so scammy, bro. It is. Like, and I know, I'm not gonna say I know these guys, but I've been around a lot of these reviewers. I can't even hear a lot of them. My hearing's not the same. They say it in passing in some of these videos, like my hearing's not the same, but these are guys telling you what sounds good and what doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, just wake up, bro. Like, and dealers are younger than what they used to be. So don't think because you see like a young person sitting around doing a video that they ain't a dealer. You know what I mean? Because they are. There's a guy that just did a review on the Hyphaman Serenade, right? And I think I remember seeing this guy before. And I asked him, like, yo, are you a dealer? He laughed about it. Nah, I'm just doing reviews. I think the dude is a dealer. I think a lot of these guys are dealers. You know what I mean? And I'm not. I bought a lot of stuff with my own money. I got one product in that was sponsored. Told you the truth about it. Told you it was sponsored. But mostly everything I have is bought with my own money. You know what I mean? I say you have to buy everything with your own money. Like, you can get sponsorships. Some people keep it real even though they get sponsorships and stuff like that. Keeping it real doesn't mean destroying a product, right? Keeping it real just means telling you what it can do and what it can't do, right? It's just what it is. But yeah, man, like these guys, man, these dealers out here, they're savages, man. They're everywhere. They're all over Facebook. They're all over Twitter. They're everywhere. You say something and here they come. Like, it's just, bro, they just want y'all to just believe smoke and mirrors and just give them tens of thousands of dollars. That's what it is. But let me know what y'all think down in the comment section below. Comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about that. As far as the trinnov, I think it sounds good once it starts running. Right? Once you after the audio sync delay issues and all that, right? Then it starts running. Yeah, it sounds good. Sounds good. The DAC that's in it, I think, it sounds good. But it doesn't sound like night and day better than AVM 90. It doesn't. You know what I mean? It sounds good. Every once in a while, it's a detail here or there you might hear that you may not hear from the AVM 90, but it's so close and there's so much going on in the movie. Mostly everything is close to the same. AVM 70, there's a bigger difference. MRX 1140, there's a bigger difference. My old Marantz Cinema 50 is not going to sound like a trinnov or an Anthem, right? When you get an AVM 90, you get a trinnov, they're very close in sound. It is. You know what I mean? Now, if you want to have two sets of surrounds and you got a big, huge theater, you got 30-something speakers, that's when a trinnov comes into play, right? Or if you want to have 3 rows of side surrounds and all, that's when a trinnov comes into play. Unless you want to daisy chain them or something like that. You know what I mean? But other than that, I mean, they kind of sound very close, in my opinion. But let me know what y'all think down in the comment section below. Dealers, get out of your feelings. Get out your feelings. I'm not telling people don't go to dealers. I'm not telling people don't buy a trinnov. That's never my goal, right? My goal is to make people aware of what are great products and what products are not that great, right? I've got a Kaleidoscape, right? It's a Strato V. I don't think it's the greatest product in the world. I bought it with my own money. A lot of these guys, I don't say their names, but you already know who said their names before. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of these guys, they get these things in for review and they get long-term reviews with them. They tell you, oh, the Kaleidoscape is great and amazing, and I fell for it, right? I bought it, and this thing is great about it, and this thing is not so great about it. You know what I mean? I'm up and down about the product, and I keep it real with you guys about it. I bought it with my own money.
I'm out of
here.
You know
what I mean? But the guy that did the trinnov video, I mean, I know he mad. Come across